Last season, San Diego State stunned 19th-ranked Boise State at their house, winning the game 21-19 and handing the Broncos only their second regular season loss on the blue turf since 2001. Tonight, Boise State enters Qualcomm Stadium looking for revenge, and running back Jay Ajayi is prepared to carry the load with his team just 2 wins away from a trip to the Mountain West Championship game. But San Diego State quarterback Quinn Kaler and the Aztecs are back home and red hot. They'll look to their star running back Adam Muema to catapult the black and red to their 7th win in the last 8 games. From San Diego, tonight's Mountain West Showdown is presented by Pep Boys. Boise State 5-1 in the Mountain West. San Diego State 5-1 as well. A lot at stake tonight at Qualcomm Stadium. This game dripping with postseason implications and payback on the mind of the Broncos as well, as they try to avoid a second straight loss to the Aztecs. Here's a look at the updated standings in the Mountain West. Boise State controls its own destiny in the Mountain Division. They have the tiebreaker over Utah State. Meanwhile, Fresno State locked up the West Division today, but San Diego State trying to improve its bowl resume and play the role of spoiler against the Broncos. Hi, everyone. Alongside former San Diego Charger Aaron Taylor, I'm Andrew Catalon. Boise State on its march to the Mountain West Championship game, but this will not be easy. The Aztecs are red hot, and there's a lot of emotion in the building tonight. Senior night for San Diego State.
Yeah, senior night for a group of seniors that has a chance to lead the Mesas, the winningest group of seniors since the 1970s. So I think a win tonight for the Aztecs is more meaningful than any other conference win because, first of all, San Diego State would be the first team to beat Boise in back-to-back years in well over a decade. But more importantly, Andrew, it would firmly establish San Diego State among the conference's elite.
Boise State, a young team that has really matured over the course of the year. They were ranked 19th in the preseason poll, blown out in their opener at Washington, throwing a loss to Fresno State. The Broncos were 2-2. Joe Southwood broke his ankle in mid-October, but Grant Hedrick has done a fantastic job in his absence. In our LGI Vision, brought to you by the new LG G2, Hedrick, a big reason why the Broncos are in position to win the division.
Has he ever been, man? He's done a tremendous job filling in for Southwick. Now, the offensive line's taken some heat, but here they give him pretty good protection. And one of the things he does well is complete balls, over 70% of them so far this year. But Matt Miller, 188 career receptions, 3 of those went for touchdowns last week against Wyoming. And make no mistake about it, tonight in the red zone will be a big test for the Aztecs because Boise State brings it.
We were here in September when San Diego State had a late game meltdown against Oregon State. That dropped them to 0-3 on the year. But give the coaches and players a tremendous amount of credit for this turnaround. The Aztecs have won 6 of their last 7 with walk-on quarterback Quinn Kaler and calling the Cardiac Kids 4 wins when trailing at halftime. And Aaron, running back Adam Muema, the catalyst in this comeback story.
Yes, he has been. Since number 4 got himself healthy, San Diego State has been on a tear. He's a physical, explosive downhill runner, but has tremendous agility and feet to be able to shake people in the open field and make them miss. Andrew, I would expect number 4 to get that football early and often tonight.
Rocky Long in his 3rd season as head coach of the Aztecs, a 23-13 record. And as Lauren Gardner tells us, the last 2 weeks have been edge-of-your-seat wild rides, Lauren.
They certainly have, Andrew, and this has certainly been a streaky but albeit fun team to watch down the stretch, winning 6 of their last 7 games. 6 of those games have been decided by 7 points or less, and like you said, these last 2 games have been some wild ones as we take a look at tonight's Go RVing road trip facts. The Aztecs missed 4 kicks, including 2 field goals, gave up 6 turnovers, and trailed by a total of 18 points in the fourth quarter. But Andrew, like a Griswold vacation, it may not always be pretty, but they find a way to get there.
Roll them up, Lauren. Here we go at Qualcomm Stadium. Chris Peterson, his 8th season as Boise State head coach, a 91-11 record, and 3 of those 11 losses have come this year. Time now to take a look at our Allegro weather. 59 degrees in San Diego, which is beautiful for a lot of people, although they're chilly out here in your native town, Aaron.
Well, hey,
I'm loving it.
We just do this. It's a little bit nicer than New York City, though. You got to give me that.
Time for the opening kickoff, brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go. The Aztecs won the toss. They will receive. Last year on the opening kickoff of this game, Colin Lockett took it back 100 yards at Boise State for a touchdown. Lockett, one of 3 senior captains on senior night, is back deep to receive the kick.
And Andrew Boyd, could San Diego State use a big opening kickoff return or a quick start? That's something that's plagued the Aztecs offense so far this year.
Dan Goodale boots it away. And here's Lockett from the 6. Slips a tackle at the 20. And he's hit hard at the 20-yard line. That's where the Aztecs will take over. Now let's take a look at tonight's quarterback profile, brought to you by Sonic Quinn Kaler, the walk-on. His 9th consecutive start, 14 touchdowns and 6 interceptions since taking over for Adam Dingwell on the 4th series of the 2nd game against Ohio State. 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. Kaler will throw over the middle to Ruffin. And he gets up close to the 30-yard line. Tackle made by Tyler Gray. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for San Diego State on offense. Left tackle Bryce Quigley, one of 3 senior captains. Final home game for him on senior day. And another senior captain, as we mentioned, Colin Lockett. He had a 56-yard touchdown last week in Hawaii. It was 8 yards for Ruffin on 1st down, so 2nd down and 2. Another pass right back to Ruffin. He's got the 1st down. Corey Bell on the stop. Ezel Ruffin, 4 100-yard receiving games this year, and last week 99 yards against Hawaii. But what a revelation he's been for this San Diego State offense.
Yeah, San Diego State coming out a little uncharacteristically, throwing the football in those first 2 plays of the game. San Diego State needs to be able to establish a run, but those were great tendency breakers.
Here they go on the ground to Muema, and stacked up at the line by the Boise State defense. Darian Thompson came away with the ball, but they are saying he was down.
Forward progress was stopped. 2nd down.
Let's take a look at the Boise State lineup defensively. DeMarcus Lawrence, 2 sacks last week, now 20 for his career. Tyler Gray gets another start at linebacker for the injured Ben Weaver, who hopes to play tonight off the bench, and Dante Dion has an interception in back-to-back games. Muema lost 1 on 1st down, so 2nd down and 11 for the Aztecs. Kaler back to the air, his 3rd pass of the night, his 3rd completion of the night. This is Adam Roberts, the tight end. And then the big guy, tough to bring down. Pickup of 7 on the play.
Boise State on that last Adam Muema run had a lot of hats around the football. They completely controlled the line of scrimmage on that first running play. That's one of the base plays that Bob Toledo and this offense likes to be able to run. If the Broncos can have that success all throughout the night, they'll be very, very happy because they'll create some 3rd and long situations.
Aztecs 38% on 3rd downs this season. 3rd and 3 here. Draw to Muema. Spins away from one, but not another, and that was DeMarcus Lawrence coming up to make the tackle.
Penetration, Andrew, is what it is you have to be able to do. One of the things that Boise State does is they cross faces, and on this draw you see Ricky Chongachu, number 43, beating the center Jordan Smith, and DeMarcus Lawrence, number 8. What a disruptive force he's been. San Diego State's got to do a better job of blocking this front. Not a very good first series for him running the football.
Alisi boots it away to Williams Rhodes, fields it at the 19, gets away from 1. He's got some speed, and he goes out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Good defensive start for the Broncos. They'll take the field on offense when we come back.
College football on CBS Sports Network is brought to you by Pep Boys. Trust the boys to get you there. By Verizon. Never be without football. Call Star NFL to download NFL Mobile from Verizon. And by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Back in San Diego, Boise State and San Diego State in a Mountain West battle.
Blood in, blood out.
As we take a look at tonight's quarterback profile, brought to you by Sonic. Grant Hedrick, his 4th career start. How about the completion percentage for the backup quarterback? 71% on the season.
Been really impressed with what he's been able to do, Andrew. He's an extremely mobile quarterback. Brings a little bit more to this offense with his legs than Joe Southwick did.
Looks to throw on first down. Looking deep and overthrows Miller. And there's a defensive back there, but he was out of bounds. That was King Holder. Well, Boise State has struggled on its first drive of the games. They have fumbled on 3 of their last 4 opening drives. Conversely, San Diego State has kept opponents scoreless on their opening drives in 6 straight games. Jay Ajayi on second down, and he falls across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Slow starts has been a problem for the Boise State team throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, no question. It's been kind of the same story for San Diego State as well. We asked Chris Peterson about it, and he said, there just is no answer. There is no magic solution. If there was, we certainly would have fixed it. It's just kind of the makeup of this team. But when you're playing somebody like San Diego State on the road, it would be a good time to figure it out, Andy.
Well, Boise State 13th in the country in third down percentage, 51%, and no penalty on that pass. It looked like Boldovan was interfered with. Instead, it falls incomplete. And once again, San Diego State holds its opponent on the opening drive.
Yeah, there was some late pressure there. Rocky Long showing early on, but there's that contact that you were talking about, Andrew. You have to be careful. But I think Marcus Andrews got away with one there. A little bit of contact, and number 17's back.
Trevor Harmon comes out to punt for Boise State. And Tim Vizzi is back deep for the Aztecs. High spiraling kick. Vizzi calls for fair catch at the 30-yard line. Take a look at tonight's Lowe's game improvements.
Well, for Boise State, they have to neutralize that 3-3-5 defense of Rocky Long. Not a very good start. They went 3 and out. Defensively, I think for San Diego State, they have to be able to control the line of scrimmage, win on first and second down so that they can win third downs and get themselves off the field. On the other side of the ball, when San Diego State has the offense and is on offense and has the ball, they've got to be able to make their red zone trips count. Their field goal kicking has been shoddy at best so far this year. And at the end of the day, I think Boise State has to be able to get after Taylor, cause some havoc, and let those defensive guys pin their ears back and control that line of scrimmage.
Lowe's never stop improving. On first down, they go back to the air. This is Pumphrey making the catch, slides away from one tackle and gets across the 35-yard line.
Well, this is something that Bob Toledo is uncharacteristically doing so far to start this game. San Diego State going to its short game, working the ball out in the perimeter. Donnell Pumphrey, number 19, backup tailback, extremely explosive. But once again, Boise State showing that it can tackle out on the perimeter, Andrew. Last week against Wyoming was as good of a job tackling on the outside edge as I've seen Boise State do in a while.
Kaler's come out 4 for 4 and now hands off to Pumphrey, who is stopped short of a first down.
Pumphrey, the ball carrier.
Gabriel Perez, the true freshman, on the stop. And now it's third down and 1 for San Diego State.
So far, Boise State's controlling that line of scrimmage. Justin Taimatuia doing a good job being able to get some penetration there for the lost yardage plays. But here's on 3rd and short, run a lead, follow number 40, your fullback. He is a bruiser in Chad Young.
Muema behind Young on 3rd and 1. Muema trying to get to the 40. I don't know if he got there. That's going to be right at the sticks.
I don't know if he got there either, Andrew. See the penetration. Boise State literally is resetting the line of scrimmage. San Diego State needs to get its pads lower, bring its knees, keep its feet moving, because the hand placement and the pad level of Boise State's defensive line has been tremendous. This is a huge 4th down.
Wow.
They have to get this.
From their own 40 in the first quarter, they go for it on 4th and 1. The fullback, Young, and he has the first down. When in doubt, give it to the guy who's 5'10", 240.
So impressed with Chad Young. That's only the 15th time all season long that he's gotten a touch. But watch his agility. He's a bruiser right there. He hops through traffic, drops his shoulders. He's a tremendous blocker. Every single time I've watched him on game film, we've called a game. He's blown somebody up. At that time, he gets to get his name in the paper. At least a box score anyway.
He's a fan favorite out here in San Diego State. And the Aztecs now close to 50% on the season when they go for it on 4th downs. And now we have a whistle and a timeout. Aztecs call timeout here in the first quarter. No score, first quarter between Boise State and San Diego State. The NCAA Football Challenge Campus Tour is making its way across the country with 32 stops. Students will have the chance to qualify for the video game championship bracket and grand prize of $5,000, while everyone can test their football skills at the Enterprise Car Share Combine. Check out hashtag NCAA Football Tour on Twitter for more info. Following the San Diego State timeout, Aztecs have it from their own 44-yard line, 1st down and 10. Andrew Catalan, Aaron Taylor, and Lauren Gardner with you for this big game in the Mountain West. Humphrey, the true freshman, running right, has some room. Humphrey has had such an impressive freshman campaign with 7 touchdowns and close to 700 yards on the ground.
One of the things that Donnell Pumphrey does, as you see, is he is so quick and has so much speed. I just talked about how well Boise State tackled last week. Look what he does to Darian Thompson, the safety number 4, and shakes him. Not much room to run inside the tackle so far. Maybe San Diego State starts to attack the edges here. 63 yards per game, 9th among freshmen in the country. And we have movement, and a flag comes in.
5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Mike DeFee is tonight's referee.
And that's what you get sometimes when you have freshmen. Right after making a good play, you have a bad one. That nullifies that great run he had and basically turns it into only a 3-yard gain. I think it's going to be important, Andrew, for San Diego State tonight to stay in front of the chains. 2nd and 6s, 2nd and 5s, 2nd and 3 all night's going to be a little too much.
Pumphrey gets another chance, and he gets up to midfield before Jonathan Brown, who's been injured for much of the year, makes the tackle. Brown injured his knee in the opener and didn't return until earlier this month.
Now, we've already seen San Diego State go for it here on 4th down once in this game. So 3rd down situations like this, according to this offensive team and Bob Toledo, the offensive coordinator, this is 4-down territory because of the place kicking woes that San Diego State's had. They don't necessarily need to get this 1st down here, but they certainly would love to be able to pick it up.
Kaler 4 for 4 on the night, make him 5 for 5, and with the spot, Pumphrey has a 1st down. That's what they like about Quinn Kaler. Short passes, he's accurate and so far on target, Aaron.
And I love his release. He gets rid of the football extremely quickly. He recognizes the receiver, the matchup that he wants, puts the ball on the money, completing 61% of his passes. But he's also a tough guy, Andrew. He'll stay in that pocket. He'll take a shot. That was Ricky Chongachu again, making his presence felt. Had some concussion-like symptoms earlier in the year, but I think tonight he's given some concussions.
Play action on first down. Kaler looking deep down the sideline. Lockett makes a great grab. What a catch by the senior on senior night. A 40-yard gain for the Aztecs, and they have it first and goal.
There's a lot of things that you like on that last play, Andrew. First and foremost, Quinn Kaler, beautiful location of the football. Colin Lockett, the converted defensive back, showing you that he has the hands and concentration to be able to bring in those catches. Concentration is an area that he's had some struggles in, but this brings up a big situation. Red zone offense is an area that the Aztecs have struggled.
56% scoring touchdowns in the red zone. They give it to Muema, and he is stuffed at the 5-yard line. Darian Thompson, the first one to get there for Boise State. Tonight's Red Zone is being brought to you by Verizon. The national touchdown average 61%, San Diego State at 56%. But they do have Adam Muema, who scored a rushing touchdown in 4 consecutive games. And they also have number 40, the fullback Chad Young, leading the way. Let's see what they do here on second and goal. Roberts in motion. They pitch it to Muema, following Young. Muema cuts back and tackled by the freshman Tanner Vallejo at the 3-yard line.
Tanner Vallejo, what an excellent job that this young man's done at the middle linebacker position. First true freshman linebacker to start it since 2001. You see him here. He diagnoses and scrapes and gets out to the outside. Tremendous instincts. He recognizes this play right away, comes downhill, takes on the block, bounces around, and has the speed and wherewithal to come up with a big tackle. If Vallejo's not there, that's a touchdown, Andrew.
Third down and goal for the Aztecs. Kaler to Muema again. Gets away from one, cuts back, hit hard, and tackled at the line of scrimmage. Ricky Changachu and Jeremy Ioane on the stop. And now, decision time for the Aztecs. Even though this is a chip shot field goal, they have not made a field goal since late September. They've missed 7 consecutive field goals, and they're keeping the offense on the field for this 4th and goal.
And I think they need to be able to go for it, especially early in the game, Andrew. In the 3 losses that Boise State's had, they've given up an average of 39 points. Field goals isn't going to get it done against the Broncos.
Going for it on 4th and goal from the 3. Kaler under center to Muema, running left, and he's in. Touchdown, San Diego State. 5th consecutive game, Adam Muema has a rushing touchdown.
We talked about this team trying to establish itself amongst the conference's elite. Twice on 4th down, the San Diego State Aztecs go for it. The second time puts them up by 6.
Seamus McMorrow on for the extra point, and it is good. An impressive 70-yard march for the San Diego State Aztecs, and on 4th and goal, they punch it in with number 4, Adam Muema, puts San Diego State up by 7. San Diego State jumps out to a 7-0 lead on Boise State thanks to the 4th down touchdown by Adam Muema.
Andrew, this is just going to be a straight power play where the backside guard gets to come up on the play side. Linebacker Chad Young is going to kick out, but there are some unblocked Boise State defenders. We talked about Adam Muema's leg strength right there in the hole, being able to run through 2 blockers. Just a little too late for Boise State, and number 4 has some extremely strong legs. Great drive by the Aztecs.
Time of possession early on, and again, Boise State has only had the ball once, but San Diego State is 30th in the country in time of possession. And so far in this first quarter, the Aztecs have had the ball for 10 minutes, and Boise State has had the ball for 48 seconds. San Diego State is not one of those no-huddle teams that runs up and down the field. They'll grind away at you like they did on that 70-yard drive.
Because Boise State's a hurry-up team, I think that's in San Diego State's best interest.
Brian Douglas on the kick return. He's got some room. Douglas down the field for the Broncos at the 30. Douglas is gone. Touchdown, 100 yards. Well, they still don't have much to do in the time of possession department, but they're an extra point away from tying the game.
When you need something to energize your team, Andrew, nothing better than a play like that.
Dan Goodale with the extra point. We are tied at 7 as the defensive back, Brian Douglas, has his first career kick return for a touchdown. Here it is again.
So much about kickoff coverage is about lane integrity. Here you see Brian Douglas and Boise State just get San Diego State out of their lanes. There's nobody on that left side of the field. Everybody had committed to the right side. It was a left return, the perfect call into the placement and the spacing of the San Diego State Aztecs. And then after that, it's just speed, speed, speed. A year ago, it was a kickoff return that gave San Diego State the confidence that they can get the win done. That play was huge for the Broncos.
Douglas, the 5'9" junior out of Los Angeles, 4 interceptions on the season. A lot of times for Boise State, you'll see Dallas Burrows back deep and Shane Williams-Rhodes back deep, but Douglas gets an opportunity here, and he makes the most of it. 100 yards on the touchdown. Colin Lockett back deep. He went 100 yards last year for the Aztecs against the Broncos. That was on the blue turf in Boise. Lockett from his own end zone at the 20 and tackled at the 22-yard line. Well, it's been a rough year for the Aztecs special teams-wise. We already documented the field goal kicking. They've missed 5 extra points this year. Their punt coverage unit has had a tough go of it, and now the kick return for a touchdown.
The third phase of football is one that teams typically spend the least amount of time on, but Chris Peterson and his units is heavily involved there. And they also can be very, very important plays. It certainly was the case for San Diego State last year. You see Kevin McGarry there, the special teams coach. He can't be happy with his unit. With only 20 hours of practice each week, these teams don't spend much time on special teams. So when you get ones like that, it's huge.
Kaler back to the air, and it's nearly intercepted. Dante Dion had both hands on it, but couldn't reel it in. And that's the first incompletion of the night for Quinn Kaler.
I think Quinn Kaler was getting a little bit greedy on that one. To be able to throw this football, you have to have a tremendous amount of confidence in your receiver, and he certainly does. And Ezell Ruffin, he's a team's leading receiver with 54 catches coming into tonight. But Dante Dion was all over that, and like a good defensive back should. He turned to be able to look for the ball, and he almost came up with an interception.
Second down and 10 for the Aztecs, and Kaler back to the air, in trouble. Lawrence is back there, and they bring him down. First contact was DeMarcus Lawrence, and that'll bring up third down and long for San Diego State.
And they also tried to be able to double team him with the tight end, Andrew. Talking to Bob Toledo, there's Lawrence here. The tight end and tackle are both going to be able to try and block him in pass protection. He comes inside, then jumps outside. Donnell Pumphrey's trying to get there. 3 Aztecs trying to get a handle on number 8, and they just simply can't do it. Had 2 sacks and a strip for a fumble last week against Wisconsin, and that's his 11th and a half sack of the year.
He is certainly one of the favorites for Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year.
So quick, his ability to be able to come inside, come back outside. He's got a vast repertoire of pass rush moves. When you watch him on film, he's got bursts, he's got explosiveness. He's having a very, very nice year.
They actually gave him a yard on the play, so no sack. 3rd and 9. Kaler's pass is caught and complete for a first down, right back to Ezell Ruffin. Well, how about this aerial attack from the Aztecs? Not what you usually expect when you see San Diego State.
Well, good offenses take what the defenses give you. There's Ezell Ruffin right there at the top of the screen on the numbers. Just going to run a scissors route and come back inside and stop inside the zone coverage that time. Pitch and catch. Take what the defense gives you. That time, good read by Quinn Kaler and good protection up front to give him the time necessary to throw the football.
First and 10 for San Diego State with 2:39 to go in the first quarter. Kaler's pass is batted down, and the Broncos are saying they scooped it up before it hit the turf, but it looked like it hit the ground first. Gabe Perez trying to do a good acting job there, but it's second down.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Second down.
Yeah, that's Justin Ty Matuia, number 90 right there, getting his hands up. Defensive linemen are taught if you can't get to the quarterback, you can still affect the play. Just great timing for him to get that big right paw up there, bringing up a 2nd and 10. But another tendency beater for San Diego State, throwing the football with their short game on first down.
2 on the play clock. They got to get this one off. They do. Pumphrey up the middle and push back. Vallejo, Horn, and Gray all right there for the Broncos.
Well, one of my home improvements was getting the safeties involved for Boise State, getting around the line of scrimmage for this offense that's rushed for 177 yards per game. But so far in this game, they haven't needed their safeties, Andrew. They are playing extremely fundamentally sound, and the Boise State Broncos run fits have been tremendous so far tonight.
San Diego State 2 out of 5 on third downs tonight. It's 3rd and 9. Kaler in trouble and he goes down. Sacked by Armand Nance, his 2nd sack of the season.
They're going to run a stunt this time with Kyrie Marshall, and Armand Nance is going to come around. See him right there coming from the left-hand side of your screen and just absolutely blows up Jordan Smith, the center. He's got a big head of steam. Smith's got to be able to drop his shoulder pad level and take on that blow and nullify that charge. That was just straight physicality from number 40 that time.
26th sack of the season allowed by the San Diego State offensive line. Williams Rhodes with the fair catch at the 15. And the Boise State offense will come back out when we return to San Diego.
And we're all knotted up at 7 with 1:13 remaining here in the first quarter. And that's Broncos senior QB Joe Southwick dressed and on the sidelines for tonight's game. Southwick began practicing Monday for the first time since breaking his right ankle against Nevada on October 19th. And guys, I watched him during pregame warmups. He took several reps. That right ankle certainly looked tender as he was being cautious on it. And on the sidelines, he's been extremely active with that headset on, calling plays, and his leadership is very visible. And guys, coaches told us it's not probable he'll be playing in tonight's game, but it's certainly a possibility.
And Lauren, even moving forward, it becomes a happy problem for Chris Peterson, but it's a problem because Hedrick has done so well. Southwick, the starter throughout the season. It's going to be decision time for Boise State if and when they get to the Mountain West Championship game. He is the focus of our icy hot injury report. Robert Prince, the offensive coordinator, told us this week that Joe is way ahead of schedule. He can go back easily. It's the lateral side-to-side movement that the ankle really slows him down. But if Boise State can get to the Mountain West Championship game December 7th on CBS, do you go with Hedrick? Do you go with Southwick? It's a tough call.
It is a tough call because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, both of these quarterbacks bring so much to this offense, and you take a look at offensive coordinator Robert Prince right there. Big decisions to make. Joe Southwick's 15-4 as a starter, equally as accurate as Kellen Moore was, but Grant Hedrick brings you a nice change of pace with his legs, as we just saw in that last play, but the San Diego Aztec defense was there to make the stuff.
On third down, Hedrick sacked, but a penalty flag comes in. Nick Tenoff, the first to get back there for the Aztecs. A 6-yard loss, but let's see what the referee has to say. Mike DeFee.
Personal foul. Shot block. Offense, number 65. The penalties decline. 4th down.
Shot block on the center, Matt Paradis. Penalty declined, and the Aztecs force a 3-and-out.
Yeah, you're not allowed to cut block a player when he's engaged with another one, and Paradis certainly did that on number 59, Jordan Thomas.
So a great start for San Diego State defensively. The only points allowed were on the 100-yard kick return. But they've done their job in Rocky Long's 3-3-5. And that could be the final play of the first quarter. 3 seconds to go. The punter, Trevor Harmon, comes out, but they don't get it off. And the punt will have to wait till the second quarter. A fast-moving first quarter in which San Diego State had the ball for 12 minutes and 45 seconds. But after one, we're tied at 7. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Pep Boys. Start of the second quarter, Boise State does not have a first down, but the game is tied at 7. Make sure to catch Homefront, starring Jason Statham and James Franco, in theaters this Thanksgiving. Well, the Boise State offense has had the ball twice and 2 3-and-outs to start the second quarter. Trevor Harmon is in there to punt it away. Tim Vizzi back deep for the Aztecs, who should have good field position to begin this quarter. Harmon with a high, short punt. Vizzi calls for a fair catch just before midfield. And good position for the Aztecs, but the Boise State defense has come out strong as well.
To win football games, you have to be able to control the line of scrimmage. There we see DeMarcus Lawrence getting after the quarterback. They've been absolutely controlling the line up front, getting tremendous push, collapsing the pocket, blocking passes. San Diego State is a run-first team, Andrew. So far, 14 rush attempts, only 19 yards. That's 1.4 yards per carry. Believe me, that's not how Bob Toledo, the offensive coordinator, wanted his Aztec team to come out and do, even though they've been throwing it.
1st and 10, Muema. And maybe gets a yard or 2 on the play. But you look at Boise State, they had a bye 2 weeks ago, and that really recharged this team, especially the defense. Last week against Wyoming, they forced 4 turnovers and held Wyoming, which has a very good offense, to just 7 points.
It was tremendous what they did last week to Wyoming, a team that had success running the football. They only allowed them 1.8 yards per carry, 55 total yards. And they're having the same type of performance tonight against San Diego State, who's run on everybody this year.
Muema slipping tackles. Correa could not bring him down. Mercy Maston finally gets there, but a first down for San Diego State after a 9-yard run by Muema.
This is the same play that they run for the touchdown, just a power to the right-hand side. It allows you to be able to get double-team blocks on the play side. Right there, you see the guard tying up the defensive end right there, but Muema doing a good job bouncing outside, trusting his eyes, and then using his legs to finish.
1st and 10 from the 40. Muema running left this time, and Nance and Lawrence trip him up. That'll bring up 2nd down. Muema came into the game needing 42 yards to go over 1,000 for the season. And you combine him with Donnell Pumphrey, and it's quite the thunder and lightning combo in the backfield for the Aztecs. Draw to Muema and nothing doing. That Boise State defense has really shut down the run early on. Lawrence again.
Playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage, San Diego State is struggling to be able to find anything positively to be able to do. He just comes around and finds a way to be disruptive and beats Bryce Quigley. The defensive tackle, you see the way he uses his hands and pulls Bryce Quigley over his feet. As an offensive lineman, you have to keep your head up, keep your pad level sound, but Bryce Quigley being violent with his hands, which is great technique for a defensive end.
3rd down and 9 for San Diego State. This is an area of the field that can be 4-down territory for them, but they're not going to need it here, as Kaler's pass is caught by Dylan Denso for a first down. Aztecs may have gotten away with a false start on the right side of the line, but they'll take it.
I saw that too, Andrew. I thought it was Terry Poole, the right tackle, that got a little bit of a quick set. When you're blocking defensive ends, you may want to get out of your stance a little bit quick. There he is right there. Keep an eye on him. He moves a little bit before the ball goes, and then you see Denso just running a straight corner route against man coverage. Does a great job of picking up the first down.
Pumphrey comes into the game at running back on 1st and goal for San Diego State. Pumphrey spins at the line and now brought down at the 7-yard line by Corey Bell.
Unbelievable job, Andrew, by Boise State attacking the football downhill. They are trying to bring the wood to this Boise State team. That time, 51 Ben Weaver was involved. Watch how they're coming downhill, 3 yards in the backfield. Ben Weaver, the leading tackler on this team, was out last week against Wyoming. He's been limited, he's been banged up, but he showed up with a fury on that last play.
Pumphrey on 2nd and goal and gets close to the 5. But this run defense continues to be stout for Boise State, and that brings up 3rd and goal.
And that time, that was Blake Reno, who's also been banged up a little bit this year. Plays that Mike linebacker position. Number 13, former De La Salle Spartans.
Here we go with De La Salle, Aaron's alma mater. Going to mention each and every week.
Scraping to the football, being physical and shedding blockers.
3rd and goal. Kaler, and it's incomplete, but a penalty flag comes in. Mercy Maston looks to be the guilty party.
Pass interference. Defense, number 19. By rule, ball be placed at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal.
It's number 19, Mercy Maston. You see him out there on the outside edge. Right there with that left hand, grabs him in man coverage. You have to maintain inside leverage. He knew that if he let Colin Lockett get inside of him, that would have been a touchdown. That actually was probably a smart play that followed pretty bad technique.
And Cleishon Page not playing tonight for the Broncos, out with an undisclosed injury. Maston seeing increased playing time on 1st and goal. Muema going nowhere. Tanner Vallejo with a big stop on defense for the Broncos.
Tanner Vallejo, I'm telling you what, Andrew, these linebackers are running downhill. The second they see a guard pull, they fill that gap. Here he is right here. He's going to come down. He actually comes backside and fills this hole. Wham! That's how you play linebacker. That is a true freshman out of Grass Valley, California, bringing the wood to a physical Aztec team.
Pete Kwiatkowski, the defensive coordinator, has high expectations for Vallejo. On 2nd down, Kaler rolls out, throws, and it's caught. Touchdown! Adam Roberts, his 2nd touchdown of the season. And the Aztecs back on top.
That's what a commitment to the run game can do to you. It sets up play action in the red zone, an area that San Diego State has struggled mightily, is 2 for 2 on the night.
Vic Morrow comes out for the extra point, and he's now 2 for 2. With 10:26 to go in the 2nd quarter, the Aztecs have regained the lead. Big 3rd down play from Kaler to Dylan Denso. And then later in the drive, Kaler to Roberts, 14-7 Aztecs. 10:26 to go, 2nd quarter. San Diego State has the lead 14-7. 2nd touchdown of the season for Adam Roberts.
Love the play call by Bob Toledo. The motion of Roberts brings everybody over as they shift and rotate their safeties. And then they just sneak them out of the backfield. And the players are late getting over there. And Roberts just does a good job of shielding his body off play action. Just a 29 zone boot right. Run to perfection. Quinn Kaler showing you a big reason why these coaches have been happy the way that he stepped in and started running this offense. 2 excellent jobs deep down in the red zone for the Aztecs, who coming into tonight were 116th in the country, which is among the worst getting down there and scoring points.
Kaler 9 out of 11 for 122 yards. Douglas is not back there. This is Derek Thomas returning the kick for Boise State, and a penalty flag comes in. Thomas is tackled at the 21-yard line after a 20-yard return.
These are the areas where you have to worry about your team.
during the return. Holding. Return team number 6. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. 1st and 10.
First time tonight, let's go to New York and update with Adam Zucker.
Well, Andrew, we have the story of Baylor's day in one play. On 3rd and goal, down 35-10, the snap gets away, and Tyler Patman for Oklahoma State is going all the way the other way. It's 42-10 right now, Cowboys. Much more at halftime, Andrew and Aaron.
Oh, thank you, Adam. I'm sure there's a lot of excited Ohio State fans tonight. Also today, Oregon got pounded by Arizona.
Yeah, which means Stanford locks up the North, and with Arizona State's victory over UCLA, they're going to lock up the South.
Ajayi lost his helmet on that last 5-yard run, so he has to come out for at least a play. Charles Bertoli replaces him, the redshirt freshman.
I mean, Andrew, Boise State offensively just hasn't gotten anything going so far in this ball game. Just 8 total yards before that last play to 156 of San Diego State.
Well, that's their first down of the night right there. This is only the 3rd time the Broncos have had the football. In the first 2 times, they went 3 and out. They're 7 points courtesy of the kick return for a touchdown.
And that's why you have to play well in all 3 phases. Boise State is still very much in this ball game, but they have to find a rhythm.
Ajayi back in there, play action. Hedrick in trouble, just gets rid of it. That's that Rocky Long defense bringing pressure. Josh Gabbert was the one applying it that time.
One of the things that Rocky Long likes to do with this 3-3-5 is he confuses the offensive line. 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, 5 defensive backs, but he could use them interchangeably. And Chris Peterson talked about that awkward 3-3-5. That's what he called that defense. He said, we have to be able to block this defense tonight. And on that last one, they seem to be confused up front.
Kirby Moore is into the game for Boise State. He has missed 6 consecutive games with a foot injury. Has not played since the loss to Fresno State. That's a welcome sight for Boise State fans. And the pass is caught by Matt Miller for another Bronco first down. But Moore just has been fighting through this injury week after week. He's warmed up with the team, gone through pregame warmups, hasn't been able to play, but he's out there tonight for the first time.
Yeah, got his last role in Fresno State. He's been practicing for a while, but he's a critical, important part to this offense. And even though he hasn't played since that long, he's still 4th on the team in receptions.
And they get him involved on cue.
As he brings in that one there. He's been such a reliable source. I mean, Matt Miller's really had to step up Shane Williams-Rhodes, but what you get in a redshirt senior and Kirby Moore is experience, somebody that will know how to dissect this awkward 3-3-5 defense and cover 1 and cover 3 packages that they like to run out of it.
And his parents made the trip to San Diego tonight. I'm sure they're pleased to see that as well. As Ajayi busts one loose and another Boise State first down.
That one that time is on the cornerback, J.J. Whitaker, number 34, getting sucked inside. Somebody has to be able to maintain, contain, and he gets sucked inside as he thinks that this play is going to be inside. And he and the outside linebacker, nobody had contained on that last play, allowing the back to get to the edge.
Here comes that up-tempo Bronco offense across midfield. Ajayi with a 3-yard run, tackled by Vanessa Harris.
Boise State will like to run tempo. Puts a lot of pressure on the defense. Doesn't allow them to be able to make the personnel changes they want, but they also have to get lined up and may not have time to get out of the defense that they're in.
Hedrick, screen, comebacker to Williams-Rhodes, tackled from behind right at the sticks by Eric Pinkins.
Eric Pinkins just saved a touchdown on that last play. Great job from him coming back there. Shane Williams-Rhodes right there coming back inside in the numbers. Pinkins in man-to-man coverage and accelerated and hawked one of the fastest players, if not the fastest player in the Mountain West, and Shane Williams-Rhodes, 27, just saved a touchdown.
That brings up 3rd down and 3 for the Broncos. 0 for 2 tonight on 3rd downs. Williams-Rhodes in motion. Hedrick from the shotgun. Flushed out, in trouble, sacked. Brought down by Jordan Thomas, the senior, on senior night with his 2nd sack of the season.
Rocky Long told us to be able to beat Boise State, you have to stop the run and affect the quarterback. This time they blitz again and just straight hustle and penetration by Jordan Thomas. Vanessa Harris, number 37, getting to the football. Boise State coming into this game, Andrew, 13th in the country, among the best on third down. And that time the pressure from the Aztecs forces the punt.
Thomas, a popular player on the team, the most experienced defensive lineman, playing in his 50th game tonight. Boise State forced to punt. Vizzy with the fair catch, and the Aztecs coming back out on offense with a 14-7 lead.
And welcome back to San Diego. It's senior night here at the Q as the Aztecs honored their 18 seniors before tonight's game. A class that has posted a 32-17 record over the past 4 seasons, is bowl eligible for the 4th consecutive season. And with the win tonight, will be the winningest senior class in Aztecs history. And Aaron, this must be a special time for these seniors. Can you tell what it was like when you were with Notre Dame on your senior night?
Man, it's an emotional deal, and a lot of times you can come out and be a little bit groggy, as we see a couple of the players, Nat Berhe and Chad Young, coming out on senior night. Parents here, friends, family, girlfriend. A lot goes in to your career, and to know that this is the last time you'll ever play in your home stadium is an extremely emotional event.
Pumphrey on first down, right up the gut. But again, the Boise State defense has been ready for the run all night long. And they've held San Diego State to just 37 yards on the ground.
This really is a story of the night, Andrew. Boise State just not able to get anything going. 0 for 3 on third down. San Diego State, even though the running hasn't been good, they've been using the arm of Quinn Kaler in that short, controlled passing game as runs, just chewing up the clock.
They've had one big play per drive. Kaler on the run here, throws on the run, incomplete. Lockett dove for it, couldn't bring it in, and that'll bring up third down and 7.
Very good second down defense that time by Boise State. Just another naked boot right off of play action. But the Broncos didn't get fooled because they stayed home that time. It brings up a third down. I think the Broncos need to maybe bring some pressure here and try and get something going. They need a big play, force a turnover, get a sack at something, because that sideline and the defensive players look a little listless here.
3 for 7 tonight on third downs. Kaler in trouble. Kaler is brought down. Ricky Chungachu leading the charge for the Broncos defensively.
Boise State has found a mismatch with Ricky Chungachu. That time over the right guard, Darrell Green. The 6'3", 300-pound redshirt senior from Amsterdam. The Flying Dutchman getting it done. Tremendous pressure up on the front. That's the exact type of play that Boise State needed, and 43 Ricky Chungachu came through for him.
First sack of the season for Chungachu as Alisi forced to punt. Williams Rhodes, a dangerous returner, makes the catch at the 47, and not this time. He gets across the 45, and that's where the Broncos will take over. 5:34 to go in the first half. Boise State has just 33 yards of offense, but they only trail by 7. As we look at tonight's Phillips 66 Mountain West Athlete of the Week, what a game a week ago from Matt Miller against Wyoming. 7 receptions for a career-high 143 yards and a career-high 3 touchdowns for Miller, who's really got it rolling this month with his roommate, Grant Hedrick. They've been roommates for all of their time at Boise State, and they've got the connection for the Boise State offense, especially in this month of November.
Yeah, Matt Miller, 6'3", 222 pounds. He's really like a glorified tight end. He's worked on his speed all offseason so he can win those one-on-one matchups, and it seems to be working late in the year.
Let's see if the Broncos can take advantage of some great field position following the sack by Chungachu with 5:25 to go in the first half.
Andrew, both of these defenses have been playing well, particularly on first down, so it brings up a 2nd and long. And these are important downs because third down is when San Diego State likes to put its ears back and get after the quarterback. Boise needs to be able to pick up some yards here.
Here they come again, and down goes Hedrick again. Derek Largent getting back there this time, and this rocky long pressure is giving Chris Peterson's offense fits.
Yeah, and that's just the nose tackle, Alex Barrett, right here on the nose. Jumps over the defense. It was supposed to be a three-step drop, but because of the coverage and how quickly Barrett got back there, Hedrick was forced to bring the ball down. Here's that third and long situation we just talked about that Boise needed to avoid.
They're 0 for 3 on third downs tonight. Pressure coming again. Hedrick looking deep for Boldavine, and it's intercepted. Picked off by J.J. Whitaker. Fourth interception of the season from Grant Hedrick.
Coaches tell us that J.J. Whitaker this week is finally healthy, playing like a vet, and Chris Peterson has to be frustrated with his team. Again, their pressure a little bit late with Hedrick throwing the jump ball. These are the 50-50 balls, Andrew, that the coaching staff told us that they work on in practice. Geraldo Boldavine, 6'4". J.J. Whitaker, number 34, only 5'10", and he goes up and snatches that football at its highest point.
That's been a focal point. They want their receivers to be playmakers. They work on it in practice, and they'll throw a ball in the air and grab the receiver's jersey and try to distract them. They want to win those 50-50 balls. They lose one there. And a turnover by Boise State. Aztecs start this drive on the ground with Adam Muema. And we go back to New York. Another update with Adam Zucker.
All right, Andrew, the latest from Stillwater here. Clint Shelf to Jawan Seals, and that's going to seal the deal. It is 49-17, Okie State now. Ohio State will keep that number 3, yeah.
No question about it. They're loving that. And tell you what, there's a lot of Utah State fans loving this score right now, because if Boise State loses, Utah State moves into the driver's seat in the Mountain Division. They would clinch a spot in the Mountain West Championship game with a win next week. But still a lot of football to be played here tonight on 2nd and 7. Muema, and he's dragged down. Let's take a look at those Mountain Division standings in the Mountain West. And earlier this year, Boise State beat Utah State in Logan. So the Broncos have the tiebreaker if indeed they finish with the same record. But if the Broncos cannot get it done tonight, they would no longer control their own destiny. That would go over to the Aggies with 1 week to go in the regular season.
What a tremendous state the Aggies have done. What a tremendous job State has done, losing Chucky Keaton early on in the season, but still finding a way to be resilient.
Kaler dumps it off to Pumphrey for a San Diego State first down.
When you're backed up like that and you're expecting pressure, screens, draws, and delays are a great way to be able to take advantage of a defense that's pinning its ears back and getting after you. This is just a great play call and execution. You see how aggressive Boise State was up the field. Bob Toledo had a great call into it, took advantage of it, and moved the chains. This gives you a little bit of breathing room offensively, but again, San Diego State's got to get back to the run.
2 timeouts for the Aztecs, 2:40 to go first half. Kaler looking deep for Ruffin, goes up and makes the catch over Brian Douglas and in to Boise State territory.
Once again, San Diego State very uncharacteristically throwing the football on first down. Those are tendency breakers, trying to take advantage of that one-on-one coverage. Boise State, and you see a little bit of a push-off there by Ezel Ruffin, but the junior out of Long Beach using a vet move against a pretty good cornerback in Brian Douglas, the young man that had a big kickoff return for a touchdown early on in this game. But I am really impressed with the play calling tonight of Bob Toledo.
With 2:15 and counting to go in the first half. Play clock at 1, they get it off, and they hand off to Muema. Pushing the pile forward and spinning before he's finally tackled by Dion and Taimatuia.
We talk about how elusive and how quick Adam Muema's feet are. But when he hits in the hole, watch the way he dances, and then when he feels pressure, he just drops his legs, turn, running through blockers, He's quite a bit more physical, I think, than teams expect, and I think we saw it on that first down play.
Muema is met right at the 40-yard line and pushed back. And Aaron, I get the fact that if you're San Diego State, you don't want to leave time on the clock for Boise State, as a timeout is called by San Diego State. But another thing you have to keep in mind, they're not kicking field goals much. They got to try to score a touchdown.
Hey, Adam Zucker here in New York. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, Baylor's offense goes still in Stillwater as the Cowboys take control in the Big 12. The Pac-12 South is locked up at UCLA. And to shake up in the Pac-12 North, Oregon won't have to worry any more questions about the Rose Bowl as we go back now to Andrew and Aaron in San Diego.
No doubt about it. Thank you very much, Adam. Looking forward to that coming up in 126. And there's more drama with the San Diego State kicking game as Seamus McMorrow has gone to the locker room with an injury. And Wes Fear has now been loosening up on the sideline. 8 for 11 this season, but he lost his job after missing 3 straight. So now, with 126 to go, 3rd down and 3 for the Aztecs.
Man-to-man coverage right here. Great way to take advantage of some play action over the top.
And the ball was mishandled off the snap. Kaler just fell on it, and that'll bring up 4th down. And now what do you do if you're Rocky Long?
Man, with the way your defense has been playing, you almost think that you want to be able to go for it. It's only a 1-touchdown game.
And Boise State wisely calls timeout here.
Boise State takes its first time out of the half. 30 seconds in duration.
San Diego State has been doing a good job all night long, for the most part, of being able to execute. But a center-quarterback exchange in a critical game, when we're talking about at the beginning of the game, San Diego State wanting to elevate itself to the upper echelon of the Mountain West Conference, you just can't have that sort of situation. You know that you have problems in your kicking game. You want to be able to try and score here, because if you can get up 2 touchdowns here, because Boise State gets this ball back to start the second half, it's huge for your team, but you greatly diminish your chances with that last miscue.
Boise State very wise to call timeout, stopping the clock with 1:07 to go. They still have 2 remaining. And now Rocky Long has sent the punt team out. So the Aztecs will punt it away.
Put them back deep. The way your defense is playing, it's smart. 3rd and 3 is quite a bit different than 4th and 5.
Alisi is out there on 4th and 4. Trying to pin the Broncos deep. Williams Rhodes lets it bounce, and it is down at the 19-yard line. Well, coming up at the half, the guys in New York will take a look at the Heisman Watch, brought to you by Nissan. Right now, let's check out some of Aaron's contenders.
Well, I think Marcus Mariota and Johnny Manziel fell out of the race today, which I think makes room for the Mountain West Conference's Derek Carr, Fresno State, getting their first 10-0 season start since 1989. He's just had a tremendous year. Jameis Winston, with a lot on his mind today, had a huge game for Florida State. And Andre Williams, what a joy he's been to watch at that running back position. He seems to be all legs and this little tiny torso, just a physical runner. But as always, November is one to remember, and the Heisman Trophy race very well may come down the next weekend.
Carr at 527 yards and 7 touchdowns today as Hedrick throws on the run. Incomplete. He was looking for Aaron Burks. What do you do if you're Boise State, Aaron? 54 seconds, 2 timeouts.
You have to be able to move the football down the field. In a 2-minute situation, the only goal for the offense is to get first downs. Get first downs, move the chains, get out of bounds whenever possible. The things you cannot get is you can't get sacked, and you can't turn the football over.
Only 3 first downs tonight for the Broncos. Hedrick over the middle, and it's caught by Aaron Burks. And that's their 4th first down of the evening.
San Diego State in a little bit of prevent, playing with a little bit of a cushion. They want to keep everything in front of them. Once the ball's thrown, the DBs have to react to the football. San Diego State being cautious here.
Hedrick steps up. He's got great speed, gunning for the sideline. Good job to get out of bounds with 34 seconds to go. They still have the 2 timeouts in their back pocket.
That time Boise State with only one deep receiver to Matt Miller. They were trying to run some short to intermediate routes to be able to maybe move the chains, pick up some yardage, and stop the clock that time because of the pressure again from San Diego State. They ate up a couple seconds but got themselves out of bounds.
They need about 40 yards to get in Dan Goodell's field goal range, his career-long 47 yards, which was last week against Wyoming. Hedrick to the sideline. Moore has his second catch, and he stops the clock. Short pickup on the play, but the clock does stop with 29 seconds to go.
San Diego State will give the Broncos that all day long. We're going to give you those 3- and 4-yard passes underneath. Boise State's got to be able to take some vertical shots here. This is a big third down. If they don't get it here, they're going to punt it back and give it to a team that's shown a propensity to score quickly at times.
And they do have the 2 timeouts, so they can go over the middle and stop the clock. They only picked up 1 yard on that out route to Kirby Moore last play. 0 for 4 tonight on third downs. Hedrick has some time, looking right, has a man, and it is dropped in the hands of Troy Ware, and he couldn't bring it in. And that brings up 4th down and 8.
And that's unfortunate because that was a beautiful ball by Grant Hedrick, a timing route. Throws it right before Ware comes out of his break. Threw it too well. Ware wasn't expecting it, but that is a money football and a big-time play that you need to make in that situation. And unfortunately, the redshirt sophomore from right here in Oceanside, California, in San Diego, couldn't come up with the catch. Now they're forced to punt.
Vista High School, a homecoming for Ware, and a bad drop on third down. 24 seconds to go. Boise State forced to punt. Vizzy calls for a fair catch at the 22. The San Diego State defense has been tremendous in this first half.
They've done a great job of affecting the quarterback. That was one of the things that the 3-3-5 does. Speed is better than size in this defense, and one of the areas that it shows up is being able to get after the quarterback. Only 17 sacks so far this year, but tremendous ability to be able to give pressure. And that's been one of the things, Andrew, that Boise State's been taking some heat for, is their offensive line that's usually pretty good, only giving up 10, 11 sacks, single-digit sacks. They've already given up quite a few this year.
Aztecs will take a knee and run out the clock here in the first half. Boise State will have the ball to start the second half. Now, Rocky Long in his 3rd year as head coach, his teams are 11-2 when leading at the half. And they have a 14-7 lead at the break on Boise State. Aztecs waiting for the Broncos to get into the tunnel before running into their tunnel. And a very impressive first half for San Diego State. And let's go down to the field. Lauren Gardner is with Rocky Long.
Well, Coach, your defense didn't allow the Broncos to register their initial first down until midway through the second quarter. What's been the key to stifling this Broncos offense?
Well, they haven't had the ball very much. We've controlled the ball pretty good on offense, and they gave up a kickoff return, which ruined one of their possessions, so they haven't had the ball very much. I'm sure the second half will be a lot different. They're a good football team, and they can move the ball on anybody.
You mentioned your offense. You guys have been able to eat up a lot of the clock there in the first half. What is the key to maintaining that momentum here in the second half?
Well, obviously, we got to get the running game going. I think we've done okay, but not real good, and we got to protect the quarterback a little bit better because it looks like he's on target if we'll just give him some time.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Long's defense has held Boise State to just 49 total yards in the first half. And that's the end of the first half with San Diego State up 14-7. After the break, we'll send you back to our CBS Sports Network studio in New York for the Verizon Halftime Report. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Pep Boys. Start of the second half in San Diego, and right now the Aztecs have a 14-7 lead on the Broncos. Back in the booth with Aaron Taylor, I'm Andrew Catalon. Kind of hard to judge the Boise State offense. They haven't had the ball that much, but they have not converted a third down yet, and they only have 49 yards of offense.
That offensive line has to do a better job of being able to create some room to run the football and give Grant Hedrick some time to be able to throw. The lack of their third down production is a lack of their first down success, because when it becomes third down, Andrew, San Diego State has been bringing the wood. Here we see Vanessa Harris, number 37, coming into the backfield. Jay Ajayi blocks him up, but he only takes half the man, and when you do that and you have an athletic linebacker, you get pressure. People are coming from everywhere. That awkward 3-3-5 is giving Boise State fits right now.
Let's take a look at the Geico difference makers, and certainly for Boise State, Brian Douglas is their offense.
Boise State only has 49 yards of total offense. Brian Douglas's 100-yard kickoff return is double that. And Ezel Ruffin only 4 catches, but they've been huge tonight, taking them over for 1,000 for the season. San Diego State doing a miraculous job of controlling the football while not being able to run it. And Ezel Ruffin's a big reason why.
A few moments ago, Lauren Gardner had a chance to catch up with Chris Peterson.
Well, we have to play harder offensively, and we also have to find some sort of a rhythm, was Chris Peterson's message to his team at the half, and with just 49 yards of total offense, he did not put it all on the shoulders of Grant Hedrick. As you said, Aaron, his O-line needs to do better at protecting, but he said, we need to find some of those first downs or this thing is going to be over.
Thank you, Lauren. Boise State will have the ball to begin the second half. And the second half is brought to you by Pep Boys, this Mountain West showdown on CBS Sports Network. There is a new kicker in for the Aztecs. Seamus McMorrow sprained his left ankle. He is out. So Wes Fear, the backup kicker, kicks off here and will take over the place kicking duties as well. Brian Douglas takes a knee, and Boise State will start at the 25-yard line as we take a look at the first half stats and time of possession. A big factor in the first.
And what's so remarkable about this is look at the rush yards for San Diego State, only 41. The short, controlled, underneath pass game of the San Diego State offense has been miraculous. It's worked, Andrew, like a running game, and because of that, they've basically been playing keep away, not giving Boise the ball enough to be able to establish a rhythm offensively.
Grant Hedrick, 5 out of 11 passing for 39 yards and an interception in the first half. And Ajayi starts the second half by getting pushed back.
That's not going to be able to get it done there. Again, a lot of movement up front by the San Diego State front seven. A lot of penetration, bringing safeties up. What Boise State needs to do is get to their screen, draw, and delay game, and maybe give the football to Devin Demas, the true freshman. He's got a tremendous amount of speed out on the outside edge.
Ajayi again gets away from 2, and King Holder finally wraps him up and throws him out of bounds. Well, that'll put the Broncos in another 3rd and long situation. In that first half, Boise State was 0 for 5 on 3rd downs.
See King Holder fighting to get him out there. Maybe a little bit late of a slam down. You see the Boise sideline being frustrated there. But San Diego State's feeling good, but it's those type of plays and mistakes that can hurt the Aztecs. They got to play smart.
3rd and 10. Hedrick looking right, throws right, miscommunication, incomplete. Aaron Burks ran down the sideline and Hedrick threw an out route.
Well, this first half started the exact same way second half started the same way that the first half did with the 3 and out, and that's not the type of rhythm and momentum that Chris Peterson expected from his team after what I'm sure was probably a pretty fiery halftime speech.
Sean Whale, the redshirt freshman, comes out for this punt. You see 2 punters for the Broncos. You saw Trevor Harmon in the first half. Vizzy back deep for the Aztecs. And Whale has a low punt that bounces at the 50, takes a nice Boise State roll all the way inside the 25-yard line. So the Aztecs will take over after a 53-yard boot from Sean Whale.
Yeah, Andrew, and when you need to be able to make big plays, when Quinn Kaler's had time, he's been able to find and get the football to his playmakers. Here he just throws the football down the field in a one-on-one situation to Colin Lockett, who really hasn't been the most surest of handed this year, but he finds a way to be able to get it done. You see that short underneath controlled pass game. You look at this quarterback pass chart brought to you by Pep Boys. That underneath game has been tremendous, but also the deep game. Hitting those big plays over the top is keeping San Diego State a 7-point lead in this ball game.
DeMarcus Lawrence just busting up that play.
Yeah.
What a phenomenal talent. The junior out of South Carolina having a player of the year type year in the Mountain West.
And if you're Boise State, this is what you need. You need your playmakers to step up and be able to make a play. He just beats the right tackle, Terry Poole, off the inside step. Hey, if your offense isn't clicking, you need to make plays on special teams. We certainly saw Brian Douglas do that. They need this young man, number 8, DeMarcus Lawrence, maybe get a sack, strip, and a fumble and get a turnover.
Loss of 5 on the play. Kaler goes to the air. Lawrence coming again. Kaler gets rid of it, dumps it off on a screen to Muema. Tackled from behind by Vallejo, who led the Broncos in the first half with 6 stops.
So impressed with the way Tanner Vallejo runs to the football. We talked about the screens, draws, and delays that Boise State needed to run here. San Diego State dials one up. If Vallejo doesn't get him down, that might have been a San Diego State touchdown. You need that sort of pursuit, and that's what Boise State needs. They need somebody to step up and make a play. This isn't about scheme. This is about digging deep and finding a way to get the job done.
Can the Broncos force a 3 and out? 3rd down and 9. Kaler with the play action, has some time, steps up, gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. And a flag comes in. Ruffin's jersey was grabbed from behind, and that's going to be pass interference against Boise State on Mercy Maston. That'll be the 2nd on Maston. Told you earlier that Cleishon Page not here because of an undisclosed injury, and Maston seeing increased playing time in the absence of Page.
Yeah, he started last week. And
Pass interference. Defense number 19. 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Those kill you, Andrew. In these type of situations, the defense is holding. They found a way to be able to maybe get themselves off the field, but right there you see his left hand all over the jersey of Ezell Ruffin, and it keeps the Aztecs alive, gives them the ball at the 39-yard line.
3rd penalty for Boise State. They only average 3 penalties per game, 7th fewest in the country. Muema on 1st down, and tell you what, Boise State defensively is going to make Quinn Kaler beat them because they are all over this run.
Well, so far in the first half, he's done that, but you're absolutely right. They are taking control of that offensive line. They keep trying to run power. There's nothing there. They try and run it inside the tackles. They try and bounce it outside. They've had some success getting to the perimeter, but you're absolutely right, Andrew. This front 7 of Boise State's defense has nothing to feel sorry about. It's that back end, the defensive backs that have been giving them problems.
2nd and 10. Kaler rolls out, throws on the run, and along the sideline, Ruffin went down, and they're saying incomplete. Ezell Ruffin nearly brought that one in. Instead, it'll bring up 3rd down and long.
Once again, Quinn Kaler showing a lot of confidence in Ezell Ruffin. A beautifully placed ball on the back shoulder that he comes back to, but just can't maintain control throughout the catch while maintaining his feet inside the sideline.
Brings up another big 3rd down.
Good coverage that time by Dante Dion. Sorry, bud.
Needs a stop here defensively. See what Bob Toledo, the offensive coordinator, dials up for the Aztecs. 3 receivers set for San Diego State. Make it 4. Kaler over the middle. Incomplete, and that could have been pass interference again on Dante Dion this time.
No question, Andrew. It's with his left hand. He was beat inside on man coverage. They tried to be able to bring some pressure, but you see his hand full of jersey right there, impeding the progress of Tim Vizzi. Boise State got away with a big one there, but to their credit, they got themselves off the field.
Williams Rhodes back deep to receive the punt from Alisi. Good snap. Good pressure from the Broncos. They've come close a couple of times tonight. Alisi gets it away. Williams Rhodes with a fair catch. Broncos ball when we come back to San Diego.
College football on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. By Allegra Allergy Relief. Fast, non-drowsy, 24-hour allergy relief that starts working in 1 hour. And by the all-new 2014 Jeep Cherokee. Built free.
Back in San Diego, where the San Diego State defense has had its way against Boise State. Take a look at this. The Broncos are 16th in the country in points per game, averaging nearly 39. They have just 7 tonight under offensive coordinator Robert Prince and only 49 yards of total offense. 5 punts, 4 first downs, and 3 3-and-outs for Boise State offensively. They have the ball here. Hedrick play action. He's looking deep, looking for Burks, and Burks comes back incomplete. Broken up by Whitaker. Took a shot deep. Burks is their speed threat. That'll bring up second down.
And Aaron Burks is also 6'3", going against the 5'10" J.J. Whitaker. But because that ball had so much air underneath it, J.J. Whitaker had the time to be able to turn around. And once again, it's San Diego State that comes down with the 50-50 ball, not the Broncos.
Aaron Williams-Rhodes only has 1 catch tonight as Hedrick dumps it off to Ajayi, who breaks a couple of tackles. Williams-Rhodes leads the team with 71 receptions coming in. He's been a huge part of their offense. Haven't called his name many times.
No, they haven't. They just really haven't gotten into a rhythm, and he's one of those types of players that's really established himself as a go-to playmaker, particularly on the perimeter. And San Diego State defensively doesn't have the best pass defense. They're 107th in the country, giving up 264 yards per game. They've got to have some success throwing the football and maybe get that short passing game going, just like San Diego State has.
Ajayi falls forward and he just picks up the first down, and that is the first time tonight that Boise State has converted on third down. They were 0 for 6.
And this is just good hard running by Ajayi. Just breaks back, uses his great vision and his ability to be able to cut back. Running the football is about getting in rhythm, and this first down should give Boise some.
Ajayi on first down, and San Diego State not fooled.
Ajayi too tentative on that play when he got the football. He's got to run that thing, get up inside. He was waiting on his backside tackle and tight end on the counter play, but he's got to get up in there, get on those guys' hips and get north and south.
No gain on the play for the sophomore running back. With 10:10 to go, third quarter. Hedrick steps up, throws to Boldevine, and it is incomplete. Broken up on the play by DeMonte Casey.
DeMonte Casey, a true freshman, has a knack for creating turnovers. He's Walter Casey, the former running back here for San Diego State's little brother, and that time showing up big on second down against the much bigger Geraldo Boldevine. That was man coverage. San Diego State is winning their one-on-one matchups in the pass game.
Can the Broncos convert another third down? Hedrick has plenty of time. Down the sideline, throws it away. Miller was in that general direction, but another incompletion from Hedrick and another punt coming by Boise State.
Hedrick drifting in the pocket that time, just not on the same page as Matt Miller and Chris Peterson. Has to be frustrated with what he's seeing from his offense, but it's not the time to panic. This is a team, Andrew, that started slow all year long. Maybe not this slow, but they've been here before. They are 1 touchdown away from tying this thing up. They just have to be patient, keep executing, and find a way to make a play. And my guess is it's going to come through special teams or the defensive side of the football tonight.
That hit an Aztec right there, and the Broncos fall on it. There it is, Aaron, your special teams play. And that could completely change the momentum as Mercy Maston recovered the loose ball. Been a rough night for Maston with 2 pass interference penalties.
The field is that the punt touched the San Diego player, recovered by Boise State, first down.
As I was saying, Andrew, It ain't over till it's over. That football hit Dylan Denso, who was getting downfield trying to be able to make a play, but because of the rugby-style nature of that kick, it was low and fast and showed up on him sooner than he thought. And with the big recovery by Mercy Maston, who's already been called for 2 pass interference penalties, that's going to help him sleep better tonight, I guarantee you that.
1st and 10 for the Broncos. The offense comes back out onto the field, and they have great field position at the San Diego State 44-yard line. First turnover tonight for the Aztecs. Ajayi wrapped up by Jordan Thomas. Pickup of 1 on the play, and this is a time where the Broncos have to capitalize off that turnover.
And a big reason, Andrew, why they're struggling on 3rd down tonight, and the reason that they're 1 for 8 is because of plays like that. Only getting 1 yard on 1st down makes it difficult.
And a quarterback change for the Broncos. Hedrick comes out. Nick Patty, the redshirt freshman, comes in. Throws it to Miller. Miller throws it back to Patty, but it was batted down. Incomplete. This is the area of the field where the Broncos like to run their deceptive plays. Chris Peterson said, don't call them gadget plays. We think they're going to work every time we call them, although this one does not.
And they had this set up. Look at the ball flow of San Diego State's defense. That ball was just grossly underthrown. Matt Miller has completed some of these throwback passes so far this year in big ball games, but that one again coming up short.
Miller 1 for 1, passing for 26 yards on the season. Now he's 1 for 2. 3rd and 9. Hedrick is back in. Steps up. Has some running room across the 45. Puts his head down and slides across the 40, which is short of a 1st down. But 4th down and about 4. Does Chris Peterson go for it here?
He's certainly got a decision to make, but once again, the pressure that's being applied to Grant Hedrick is affecting the plays.
And he's going for it. 4th and 6, officially with 9 minutes to go. 9 for 17 on 4th downs this year. Now, is Hedrick going to punt it? Yes, he does. That's his 3rd punt of the year. And it's down at the 16-yard line. Got to keep your head on a swivel with these Boise State Broncos. Aztecs football.
Welcome back to the Q, where the Aztecs are looking to register their last win of the season here at home. And in this spot, last month, the ball was snapped to Aztecs kicker Seamus McMorrow, who had a chance to get the win over Fresno State. As time was about to expire, the kick was blocked, and the Bulldogs earned the win in a spot atop the West Division standings. Now we want to hear from you at home. Tweet some of your thoughts on that game to #TheSpot, and we might air some of your thoughts later on in tonight's game. And guys, it's all been said and done, hasn't it?
Well, from that standpoint, Lauren, of that game and not crying over spilt milk, it absolutely has. But again, when you look at the Mountain West standings, Fresno State sitting on the top has clinched the West Division. San Diego State in sole lone 2nd place here in the division. But as we mentioned at the top of the show, this is about raising this Aztec program to the next level among the cream of the crop in this conference.
Taylor looking deep on 1st down for Lockett, and it is broken up. Dante Dion on the coverage. It was a 50-50 ball between Dion and Lockett. Neither one came down with it.
I've been impressed with Dante Dion's coverage. He got away with a little bit of a hold. He's beat there. Quinn Kaler showing a lot of confidence to his receivers, both Colin Lockett and Ezel Ruffin. He's thrown some jump balls to tonight. He has to be careful because in a 1-score ball game, he can ill afford an interception. They need to take their shots downfield to get the defensive backfield on their heels, but they got to be careful with the football.
That was a great look at the Boise State sideline in the background. They thought maybe that Dion was going to come down with his 5th interception of the season. Oh, so close. Pickup of 2 on 2nd down, so 3rd and 8 for the Aztecs.
This is a great area to be able to run a screen, whether it's a middle screen or a slip screen out to the tailback. Boise State's been able to get pressure. DeMarcus Lawrence coming upfield, bringing the 2nd level blitzers. This is a good area to be able to run that, but doubtful out of this formation.
Kaler pump fakes, still has it, now gets rid of it, broken up. Nice play by Corey Bell. And the Broncos defense forces a punt.
Well, this is back-to-back 3-and-outs for both of these offenses. Defense is ruling the day. We've got ourselves a 14-7 ball game. Just tremendous coverage that time by Corey Bell, the third leading tackler on this team from the city of Boise. Comes up with a big play because the Broncos should get good field position again. They couldn't take advantage of the last time they got that turnover. They've got to be able to find a way to get something done here.
Punt takes a Boise State bounce. They will start with great field position right near midfield when we come back on CBS Sports Network. (14-7) San Diego State in front of Boise State as we take a look at the BCS standings, driven by the all-new 2014 Jeep Cherokee. And number 4 will not be number 4 much longer.
Yeah, and Oregon goes down today. And this really sets up a very interesting next week. Certainly Alabama with the Iron Bowl going on. And Florida State better be careful with what's going to be a very salty Florida team that lost today. They will show up and could save their season with a win over the number 2 team. When you look at that top 10 list, Missouri showing up good. They're 1 win away next weekend from representing themselves in the East and going to Atlanta for the SEC championship game. I think this November is going to be very, very interesting down the stretch, and teams are going to keep falling off the spot.
Hedrick's pass complete to Miller on first down. How could you say that after what we saw today from Florida that they can give the Seminoles a run?
Because it's a rivalry game, and I know they got gashed and didn't allow a pass to be completed, but gashed for over 350 rush yards. But that's a proud team with a lot of good players, and anything can happen in a rivalry, and it's a perfect setup for Fresno State coming off a big win today to overlook that Florida team.
2nd down and 3 after the 7-yard pickup from Hedrick to Miller. Back to the air, Williams Rhodes, just his 2nd catch of the night, and he picks up the 1st down. This Boise State offense has just 71 yards.
These bubble screens, what they call bobs, were what they went to last week against Wyoming when they started the game out slow. It really looked like they made a concerted effort to get the football into number 11's hands. We'll see if that gets them some momentum here in the middle of the 3rd.
This is the first drive tonight that's gone past the 40-yard line of San Diego State, and Hedrick uses his legs to get inside the 30.
That's one of the weapons that also hasn't been used, and what those do when you get the football out into the perimeter, it stretches the defense out. Then you send your receivers out on 3 and 4 verticals. That clears out the box and allows Hedrick to be able to use his legs.
Joe Southwick with the headset on, signaling in the plays for Boise State. Ajayi running left, has some room. Ajayi down the sideline, touchdown! A 31-yard touchdown if he stayed in. And they might take another look at this one.
Looked pretty good to me, Andrew. Boise State, excellent job out on the perimeter. Great block by Holden Huff, the tight end. Ajayi walking the tightrope. And once again, San Diego State getting contained broken. Nobody setting the edge on that defense. Derek Largent got put down on the ground, maybe felt like he got held, but tremendous perimeter blocking, and the speed of Ajayi took over to potentially tie this thing up.
They took a quick look at it, and it's going to stand. Good Elon for the extra point to tie the game at 14. For Ajayi, it's his 16th rushing touchdown of the season. 4th in the country, and that's exactly the spark that Boise State needed to try to get something going offensively. Jay Ajayi, a 31-yard touchdown, and the Broncos have evened things at 14. Jay Ajayi had 29 yards rushing the entire game before ripping off a 31-yard touchdown run. And Aaron, somehow this game is tied.
They captured the edge. Here's Holden Luff going to block Derek Largent, but keep your eye on King Holder and Eric Pinkins, they get set inside. That means there's nobody to set the edge, which allows Jay Ajayi to be able to run, capture the edge, and some good blocking along that offensive line. And when you don't have somebody that's out there on the edge setting the defense, you get gassed on the perimeter, and Boise State set that all up by getting out of what they had done conventionally. They started out with a 7-yard completion to Matt Miller. They ran a bubble screen, then they ran a quarterback draw, and then gassed them on the perimeter. Great mix-up of the play calling for Boise State to tie this game up.
Lockett from his own 3. Lockett lost the football. Ball is loose on the ground at the 23-yard line. Who has it? No signal yet. Boise State says they have it. And they do! Broncos football! Taylor Loeffler has the football. Loeffler led the team out today with the hammer. That is given to the Boise State player who has a great performance on special teams the week before, and Loeffler with a big play on special teams again tonight.
We talked about the importance of protecting the football and how San Diego State needed to be careful with it. We also talked about Boise State's defense, the third phase, finding ways to make plays. First it was Brian Douglas with the big kickoff return. Now it's a turnover on a kickoff return deep in the money zone for the Aztecs.
Hedrick nearly lost that snap. And they give it to Devin Demas, the redshirt freshman. And Aaron, this is the same old story for the Aztecs. Special teams have killed them this entire season.
It's unbelievable the role that phase has played. And again, it's the phase that probably gets practiced the least, but as we've seen tonight, can also show up as the most important.
2nd down and 8 for the Broncos, trying to capitalize off the turnover. Ajayi nowhere to go, and he's spun down.
And if you're San Diego State, this is huge. In a game like this, you need to be able to bow your back in the red zone. San Diego State is 123rd in the red zone. When teams have gotten inside the 20, they've scored 97% of the time. Rocky Long and his Aztecs desperately need to make a play here, especially in a tight scoring defensive ball game.
Broncos 1 for 9 on 3rd downs. Pass is caught. And Williams Rhodes somehow comes away with a 1st down. Nearly broke that for a touchdown. 12-yard pickup, and the Broncos move the sticks.
He's so elusive and quick from that position in the slot, just running a simple bubble screen, coming back underneath on the middle screen. Good blockers out in front, and when you get the football into number 11's hands in space, he's pretty deadly, as we just saw there.
1st and 10. Another screen to Williams Rhodes. Similar play. Touchdown! The Broncos are alive. And they take their first lead of the night.
Andrew, the best way to beat the blitz is to run your screens, draws, and delays. That's not a similar play. That's the exact same play that they ran the play before from the opposite side, and the result was a touchdown.
And Aaron, we talked about that they didn't use Williams Rhodes much in the first half. The last drive, he caught a big 1st down. This drive, 2 big catches, including the touchdown. He's the guy that makes that offense go, and it's going now as they take a 7-point lead.
There's no question that he's such an explosive type player. Just a sophomore from Texas, but now San Diego State has to be worried. They were feeling really, really good. But again, Andrew, the special teams have been so costly for the Aztecs.
Just look at tonight, Brian Douglas, a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And San Diego State's defense played lights out. It was Douglas that was the only guy to provide the points for the Broncos. But then the punt hits one of the Aztecs. First turnover of the night, and then Lockett on the last kick return lost the football. 2nd turnover of the night, and the Broncos take advantage.
2 turnovers and a kickoff return for a touchdown. is just simply too much, and it's a big reason why, and the sole reasons why, the Broncos are up by 7 against the San Diego State team. And now you have to wonder how San Diego State's going to respond. The momentum has completely shifted to the Broncos sideline.
Lockett again. Lockett across the 25 and tackled at the 28-yard line with 4:55 to go in the third quarter.
He's got to do a better job of covering that football up. That was costly. But he's also got to keep his head in the game. He can't afford to get frustrated right there. You see Tim Vizzy there trying to calm him down a little bit. You don't know what he's pointing at, but now's no time to point fingers. Keep your wits about you, settle down, and execute the football game. It's still a 7-point game with lots of time to go.
Boise State has scored 14 points in the last 91 seconds. And Muema gets the call on first down, tackled by Armand Nance. The one thing, if you're from the Aztecs' perspective, Aaron, is they've been behind before a lot. We've chronicled it.
No question. Keep your eye on the backside guard, Darrell Green. What he does right there. Good night. That's Ben Weaver that he just pile drived into the ground. They need to be that physical in all 5 spots. Here they're in 12 personnel. 1 running back, 2 tight ends, and they're going to throw.
Pressure coming. Kaler gets rid of it to Muema. Chased from behind by Chongachu. He can't get there. Muema gets all the way up to the 40-yard line and a first down for the Aztecs.
Love that play call, Andrew, because what throwing screens does is it slows down that rush. Boise State's defense is having a lot of success because they're shooting gaps and playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage. A screen tells those guys, hey, if you come upfield, we're going to gas you out on the edges. So that's to help slow down the rush.
Roberts goes in motion. Muema on the carry. And he's dragged down. Darian Thompson and Bo Martin in on the tackle for the Broncos.
Great job by Boise State's front 7, playing so physical. We've seen San Diego State gash people on the power, in the counter, in the lead, the outside zone.
And how about the job that they've done on Muema tonight? 20 carries for 28 yards.
Dominant.
This is Pumphrey coming around to get it. And Boise State not fooled. Tyler Gray, the first to meet him.
That time Tyler Gray did a really nice job of evading the block of Adam Muema. The second-level defenders have played tremendous tonight on both sides of the line of scrimmage. You see the fake to Muema. He's got to be able to hunt Tyler Gray up. He just sits there and looks, and it's Gray that ends up making the tackle. You judge a running back by what they do with the football when it's not in their hands, and that time number 4 gets a minus.
Big third down for San Diego State. 4 for 12 tonight on third downs. Kaler out of the shotgun. Steps into the throw. Has a man caught for a first down. And that's Vizzy moving in to Boise State territory. A 20-yard gain for Vizzy.
You got to give credit to San Diego State for that last pass. And Quinn Kaler, there was a tremendous amount of air underneath that ball, but just soft zone coverage. They were worried about the deep ball. That ball floated up there for a while, but it still found its target. Good enough for the first down.
They're going to need more plays like that. Boise State has figured out this running game from the Aztecs. Kaler's going to need to get it going for San Diego State through the air.
Throw it on first down on play action. Here they go.
There it is. Kaler on the run, incomplete. He was trying to hook up with Adam Roberts, who caught a touchdown in the first half.
They've run those naked plays several times tonight, but that ball was just a little overthrown. Roberts touched it, and I'm a big believer if you touch it, you catch it. But Kaler didn't make it easy on him.
From the 40s, second down and 10. Pumphrey stopped by Chongachu. This running game just cannot get going. In fact, take a look at this. A team that averages 176 yards per game, held to just 44 so far tonight.
Ricky Chongachu's pad level and hands and explosion has been dominant tonight. He's absolutely dominating Jordan Smith, number 73, the center who I've watched play a tremendous amount of football. I don't think this is an indictment on Jordan Smith. I really think it's a tip of the hat to number 43, Ricky Chongachu, who we see right here.
3rd and 10. Pass over the middle is caught. Dylan Denso brings it in. Tell you what, Kaler's made some clutch throws on 3rd down tonight.
He's been huge, and you got to give credit that offensive line that time doing a good job giving him time. Dylan Denso is a tough traffic catcher, just sitting inside the zone, found a little window. And Quinn Kaler, look at him climb the pocket and deliver that football right on target. He is executing this offense, throwing the football as well as I've seen him do.
Great awareness of the change. They needed 10, they got 11. 1st and 10, inside a minute to go. Pumphrey's going to throw on the run. Lockett wide open, and he can't bring it in. Trying to give Boise State a taste of their own medicine, but it's incomplete.
Before the ball game, Bob Toledo told me that he was going to dial up some specials tonight. This is just a halfback pass, a little bit underthrown, but there's that inconsistency of the hands of Colin Lockett, the converted defensive back. He certainly looked like a defensive back on that last one, batting the ball down.
Tough quarter for Lockett, fumbled the kickoff, drops one at the 5. 2nd and 10, 2 on the play clock. Kaler screen to Pumphrey. He's got some running room across the 25 and tackled from behind at the 19-yard line. Well, actually, spot it right at the 19, and that's going to be good for a 1st down.
Bob Toledo once again attacking the edges in the perimeter. If you can't run, use this short passing game as perimeter runs. The best thing about that play is the location of the football with Quinn Kaler. Put it right on the money and allowed the young Pumphrey to be able to make some yards after the catch.
Final 30 seconds of the 3rd quarter. Pumphrey can't get around the tackle. DeMarcus Lawrence having a night here for the Broncos.
This is what you have to do in a ball game like this. You're on the road, you're fighting for your life. You got to be able to have your best playmakers make plays. There he just takes on the lead blocker and forces Pumphrey to be able to bounce the football. That is a tremendously physical play for a player who's known for his speed and elusiveness.
3 quarters in the books. We got a good one in San Diego. Broncos up by 7. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Pep Boys. Boise State averages close to 500 yards per game. Through 3 quarters tonight, they only have 137, but they have a 7-point lead. Now, Seamus McMorrow has a boot on his sprained left ankle. He's out, so Wes Fear is now the kicker for a team that has missed 7 consecutive field goals, and this is the part of the field where that factors into the equation, certainly with play calling. 2nd down for San Diego State from the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and this makes it difficult because you're behind the chain, so to speak, losing so much yardage on 1st down. It limits what you can do in your playbook.
Kaler hit as he throws, incomplete, and guess who? DeMarcus Lawrence again.
Pressure off the left side this time. He's been very, very dominant, but watch the way he uses his hands. This is against left tackle Bryce Quigley. He's been absolutely great. This is just a swim and a rip move, and he rips around the outside of him. He's at the top of your screen. See how he pulls the jersey of the offensive lineman. As an offensive lineman, you have to be able to get your hands inside and lock out and prevent him from doing that, but Lawrence makes it a little bit difficult.
3rd and 13. They shovel it to Muema, slips a tackle. Muema to the 10, and he is close to a 1st down. I think he's going to be a hair short.
I think he's going to be short too, which means it's going to be decision time for San Diego State. This is a big call here in a tight ball game. But when you want to win it all, you got to risk it all. And I think if you're San Diego State, you got to go for it here. Great move by Moema. He made Tanner Vallejo miss a tackle. Vallejo's been all over the field tonight. But once again, it's San Diego State's players that are making plays.
2 for 2 on 4th downs tonight. They'll go for it here. Don't forget about the fullback, Chad Young, paving the way. It's Young taking the handoff, and he pushes forward for a first down. On senior night, Chad Young with a clutch carry. Aztecs into the red zone. Tonight's red zone is being brought to you by Verizon. 2 trips tonight, 2 touchdowns for the Aztecs.
Andrew, I'm just such a fan of Chad Young and what it is he brings. You see on his wrist there, he's got what looks to be the word try, T-R-Y. Those are the initials of his brother, Tyler Reed Young. He's been such an important part of his life.
Yeah, unbelievable story. Tyler Reed Young sadly died at the age of 12. That's when Chad was 8. And since then, he's been writing his initials of his brother on his wristband, on his socks. Chad Young's had a phenomenal career, a former walk-on. And he's always keeping his brother close to him out on the field. 2nd and goal for the Aztecs from the 5. Moema inside down to the 2. And you got to keep in mind that when Bob Toledo is calling plays really inside the 40-yard line, he's thinking 4-down territory. San Diego State they're not going to kick field goals.
Yeah, they're bringing Chad Young back out on the field. He told me before the game, he said, man, I've had 3rd and short, 3rd and medium, 3rd and long calls, but now I have to have those on 4th down too. I've never been in a situation like this, but because of the unique issues of this team, we have to do it. I would follow number 40 to the football.
17th play of the drive. They swing it to Pumphrey, following 40. Can he get by him? No! Tripped up by the Broncos. Gabriel Perez cutting off the corner, and now it's 4th and goal.
We talked about setting the edge of the defense. This time Boise State's able to do it. Perez right there eats up 2 blockers, which allows Jeremy Ioane, number 10, who they call hair on film, to be able to come down and stretch that field out. This is a big 4th down play. With the way they like to run the football, maybe you get Kaler out on the edge into a naked situation and give him a run-pass option, but you do have what could be man coverage down here at the bottom of the screen.
4 wide receivers on 4th and goal. Kaler to Lockett, incomplete, no flag. That's the same play they ran earlier when there was a pass interference call on Maston. But this time, no call and a turnover on downs. Big stand by the Boise State defense. Lockett couldn't reel it in. Maston was on the coverage for the Broncos. $11:52 to go in the 4th quarter. Boise State with a big defensive stand. They lead by 7.
Well, this is just going to be a simple middle screen. When you come back, as soon as that football's in the air, you got big bodies blocking, and the combinations of big blocks, the ball in the hand of playmakers in space, and some missed tackles by San Diego State gave Boise State the 7-point lead in this ballgame. And then their defense followed that up by a heck of a stop deep in the red zone. We talked about San Diego State being among the country's worst. Well, they certainly showed it on that last series.
Broncos get the ball back. They started on the ground to Ajayi. Keep in mind, this is familiar territory for San Diego State. They've been behind a lot in the 4th quarter, including the last 2 weeks. They trailed San Jose State by 11, came back to win, and they trailed Hawaii last week by 7 and came back to win. So they have done this before. Nice catch there by Miller, who's wrapped up by Pinkins, and that'll bring up 3rd down. But this is a team, cardiac kids, if you want to call them, just incredible. They've played 6 straight games decided by 7 points or less, and they're 5-1 in those 6 games.
It's just unbelievable. We're talking to Rocky Long this week. He said, you know, Aaron, I don't know how to explain it. It's just the makeup and the nature of this team. It's just the way that we are. We've tried to change the way we do things, but sometimes you just have teams that are like that. But they have confidence in their ability and what it is they can do. So I would expect some of these playmakers to be able to step up, and a great way to do that's here on third down.
And they extend the drive, 3rd and 6. Cedric throwing right, intercepted. Whitaker, see you later, pick 6. Bad throw by Grant Hedrick. J.J. Whitaker with an 18-yard interception return for a touchdown. And now Wes Fear comes on to attempt the extra point. Remember, don't take anything for granted with the Aztecs, even on extra points. Fear's kick is good. And with 10:37, we've got a tie ball game in San Diego. J.J. Whitaker, the San Diego native, going the other way for 6, and it's 21 all. Well, as great as Grant Hedrick has been replacing Joe Southwick, turnovers have been a problem. 6 on the year, and now 2 interceptions tonight. This one taken back for a touchdown.
Yeah, and unfortunately his receiver Aaron Burks didn't help him. He loses his footing. This is just one-on-one coverage out on the outside edge. And once again, J.J. Whitaker winning his one-on-one matchup. Burks doesn't have his feet in front of him, but J.J. Whitaker sure did, and his second touchdown was a big one tonight because it counted for 6 points.
Keep in mind the Aztecs have 5 interceptions the entire season coming into tonight. They have 2 off Grant Hedrick this evening. Brian Douglas, who took one back 100 yards, fields this one at the goal line. Douglas again with some room to run across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Make sure to pick up your copy of Call of Duty Ghosts. Available now, rated mature.
This is a heavyweight fight, Andrew. 2 teams going at it, finding ways to make plays. You know, that's sometimes a cliche in football. Hey, you have to step up and make plays. But that's exactly what we're watching here tonight. This, at the end of the day, is going to come down to a battle of wills and execution.
Hedrick steps up, throws on the run to Miller. He's got it at the 47-yard line and a first down. And we go back to New York to Adam Zucker.
All right, Andrew, thank you. Things not as close elsewhere. Siler Miles, watch the catch by Kevin Smith. Bishop Sankey with 3 touchdowns on the ground. Washington up 48-0. Back to you.
Wow, been a tough go for Oregon State.
False start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's on Marcus Henry, the sophomore out of Washington. Was actually recruited by Washington after he'd committed to Boise State. And then his first start ever in a Boise State uniform was this year at Washington, about 10 minutes away from where he grew up. So after the penalty, 1st and 15, Ajayi gets by 1, gets by 2. Ajayi down the sideline. First down, Boise State.
Those sorts of plays give you confidence, and a ton of missed tackles that time by what's been a sure tackling San Diego State Aztec defense. Right in the hole he gets met. Bam! Runs through the arms of several defenders. Guys just taking poor angles and missing tackles. Gets good field position to pick up by 27.
15-yard gain for Ajayi into San Diego State territory with 9:40 to go. Moore is tackled immediately. DeMonte Casey He is a playmaker, the redshirt freshman out of San Bernardino, California.
Anytime you're throwing these plays out on the outside edge, you have to fight and get upfield vertically as quickly as you possibly can. As soon as he reads it, he fights through the defender. And Geraldo Boldemine, number 17, was somebody that this coaching staff praised for their ability to block. But that time, number 23 used better technique and better effort and made the play.
3-yard loss. Play action. Hedrick has it complete to Miller, who lost his helmet. Eric Pinkins on the tackle, and Aaron Burks was running free. I don't think Hedrick saw Burks, instead threw it to Miller.
You see Pinkins there just grabbing that helmet, ripping his helmet off. You wonder if the flag is going to be on Miller for trying to continue to play when he had his helmet ripped off.
Personal foul. Grabbing the helmet opening. Defense. 15-yard penalty would be added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
That's a big call that goes against Rocky Long's defense.
The players whose helmet came off can remain in the game. The helmet came off as a result of a foul.
Yeah, with that left hand, he did wrap it around. In the first look, I didn't see that. I thought it was clean, just coming off from the back, and that it slipped off. But the officials were all over that one. That last look was the best.
A 34-yard change of field position after the catch and penalty. And with 8:40 to go, it's 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Ajayi up the gut, all the way down to the 10.
And Andrew, this defense has played lights out tonight. It's been pretty good against the run all year long. But in the red zone, they've been absolutely abysmal. 123rd in the country, allowing their opponents to score 97% of the time when they get down there, which could be a problem because Boise State is among the country's best when they cross the 20.
One red zone stop the entire year. One. They blocked a field goal at San Jose State a couple of weeks ago. Every other time the opponent has put points on the board, and they do it again. Matt Miller in for the touchdown. Broncos back on top. 8th touchdown of the season from Matt Miller, hooking up with his roommate, Grant Hedrick.
Talked about those 50-50 balls. But this time it's Rocky Long's team that comes up on the short end.
Just cannot get a stop in the red zone. And Goodale on to try to make it 28-21. Matt Miller had 3 touchdowns last week against Wyoming. And he scores a big one here in the 4th quarter off the arm of Grant Hedrick. Miller, 6'3", goes up to get this one and bring it in. Boise back on top.
And welcome back to San Diego, where Boise State has a 7-point lead over the Aztecs. And let's see how they got that lead with tonight's Northrop Grumman aerial performance of the game. Just man-to-man coverage. You see Matt Miller right here with Rene Silawano. Just gets a good jump off the ball, beats him out of his break. Silawano's behind and in back. And Matt Miller going up and taking control of that football. And big-time players need to make big-time plays. And Matt Miller certainly made his fair share over his career. And that last catch was a doozy.
Remember, Boise State needs to win in order to control their own destiny next week. If they lose tonight, Utah State controls its own destiny in terms of winning the Mountain Division. Goodale with a short pooch kickoff, fielded at the 30. And Pumphrey with some room to run to the 36-yard line. And there's an injured Bronco down on the field. That's Chaz Anderson. It was actually Brandon Porter who returned the kickoff. And Anderson is slow to get up.
He got hit pretty hard by Chad Young, number 40.
Anderson, the redshirt freshman out of Los Angeles. Here's another look at it. Chad Young coming over with a big block.
He crumples him. And when he hits the ground, you see him kind of fold over his left leg there.
Anderson needs some help getting off the field. Brian Douglas lends him an arm. Meanwhile, an injury update on the San Diego State sideline. Let's go down to Lauren Gardner.
Yeah, Andrew, Aztecs will be without left guard Zach Dilley for the remainder of the game. He has a sprain to his right knee, has ice on it. The trainers and even the team physicians looked at it. They took the brace off, but they were unable to clear him for the remainder of the game.
All right, thank you, Lauren.
And Andrew, that can be problematic because that guard position is one that struggled for this offensive line for San Diego State all season long.
Japhet Gordon comes in to replace the injured Dilley, and San Diego State has to get the run game going. They're averaging just over 1 yard per carry. Coming into the game, they're averaging 4.5 yards per carry. A lot of credit to the Boise State defense, and that's why Kaler will start in the air. Dumps it down to Muema, but he is immediately swarmed by the Broncos defense. Tyler Gray among those leading the charge.
This is how San Diego State started this game, with those short, controlled passes in front of Quinn Kaler, high percentage completion type of throws. You see Boise State run into the football. The defenders are now starting to try and rip the football out of the defender's hands. San Diego State has to be really careful and protect the football here in the fourth quarter.
Aztecs have not scored on offense since the 10:26 mark of the second quarter. The 7 points they scored here in the second half on a pick six. Back to Muema to the 41-yard line. That'll bring up third down. Ricky Changachu on the tackle for Boise State.
Once again, that's Tanner Vallejo coming upfield, making a tremendous play.
And an injured Bronco down on the field. That's Kyrie Marshall, senior out of Phoenix, Arizona. Marshall has been hurt every single year of his career at Boise State. Here in his senior year, finally able to stay healthy. But the senior is down on the ground and being attended to. Gets up and he'll slowly walk off. Let's take a look at that last play.
Keep your eye right here on Tanner Vallejo. For a true freshman, Andrew, his instincts are amazing. You see him trying to carry number 3, recognizes it's a screen, breaks on it immediately, and just slows him up enough to allow his pursuit to come. Now, he didn't make the tackle, but he certainly dictated where Adam Muema could run after the football. That's just tremendous play for the true freshman middle linebacker.
San Diego State has had success throwing the ball on third downs. They're 7 for 11 passing on third downs tonight. 3rd and 4. Kaler over the middle to Denso. He's got it at the 40, and another first down for San Diego State. A 19-yard pickup by Dylan Denso.
Dylan Denso just coming off the slot from the right side of the screen. Just gets in front of the safeties and behind the linebackers and makes a tremendous catch that's behind him. This is just zone defense, and he finds the perfect hole in that zone. Breakdown in that backfield, but that wasn't a very accurately thrown ball, but that's why receivers have to go up and make plays.
They fake it to Pumphrey. Kaler looking end zone for Lockett, incomplete. Overthrew him and mashed him with stride for stride.
Kaler was a little late throwing that football. Masson was waiting on it and actually accelerated through faster than Colin Lockett. When he looks back at that, he probably will have wanted to put the football up in the air a little bit sooner than he did.
Got to keep an eye on the clock now. 6:04 to go, fourth quarter.
Yeah, and with the way this game's been going, though, you're not going to be in a rush. You want to maybe play a little bit of keep away here, but without question, they got to get a touchdown, which means running your best base plays.
Another play action. Kaler looking deep again, this time for Ruffin. Intercepted. Picked off by Dante Dion. Third consecutive game, Dion has had an interception, and the third turnover tonight by San Diego State.
Bob Toledo's got to be sick. I said it before in the game. Sooner or later, throwing these jump balls up and having too much confidence in your receiver on an underthrown football is going to cost you. And Dante Dion does a good job of going up and fighting for that ball and coming down with it at the 1 yard line. Looked like he was bobbling it a little bit as he fell into the end zone. but that's the way you go up and get the football. It was a little bit underthrown by Quinn Taylor.
So Boise State will start at its own 1, and Hedrick just pushes the pile forward and actually gives them a little bit of breathing room.
Now this is where San Diego State needs to be careful because of the clock. The Broncos have a running back in Jay Ajayi where they can control this clock. San Diego State's done a tremendous job tonight being able to defend that run. They have to be able to find a way to get this ball back after the turnover from their offense.
And there's Ajayi trying to nose his way to the 10. He gets tackled at the 9. That'll bring up 3rd down and 2.
And this is tough, Andrew. After a sudden change, it can take the wind out of your sails. You feel deflated, but you have to be able to find a way to get yourself back up. A 3rd down is a great way to do it, but now Boise State, having success on 1st and 2nd down, has a very makeable 3rd down, but this is where San Diego State needs to show up and make a play here on 3rd down.
Just 2 for 11 tonight. Linehan in motion. Play action. Hedrick in trouble. Gets away. Now brought down. A sack. Nick Tenoff, his 4th of the year.
Doing the same thing they've done all night long on 3rd down, which is bringing pressure. Rocky Long's defense, just tremendous efforts jumping over Jay Ajayi's block. Nick Tenoff, this team's leader in sack, gets his 5th on the year and comes up with a play. Now this offense is going to get the football back in great field position. So after the costly turnover that effectively ends up being a punt, Boise State's offense has struggled once again, goes 3 and out, if you will, and they're going to give the ball back to the Aztecs at midfield.
Harmon punts. Vizzy makes the catch at the 40. Gets by 1. Vizzy across the 35. Vizzy down the sideline. 1 man to beat. He beats him. Touchdown! A 41-yard return for number 41. And finally, San Diego State gets a big play from its special teams.
Vizzy just doing a great job again out of your run lanes. Great block that time by number 7, Dwayne Garrett. And another big block by Brandon Porter to be able to give Vizzy the crease that he needs. And to your point, Andrew, a much-needed play by the Aztecs on special teams.
Taylor Loeffler a little slow to come off the field for Boise State. 4:04 to go, and now the backup kicker, Wes Fear, comes out to try to tie the game.
Tim Vizzy feeling it.
Over the last 5 games, San Diego State has averaged 15 points in the 4th quarter.
That's how quickly momentum can change. It's about making plays, which at the bottom line, at the end of the day, comes down to execution.
Fear to tie it, and he does. This one coming right down to the wire in San Diego. Tim Vizzy with a huge play on special teams, beating the last man, the punter Harmon. And Vizzy waltzes into the end zone. We're tied at 28.
College football on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up. By Sonic. Get fired up with a Sonic Original or Island Fire Spicy Chicken Sandwich. And by your local Acura dealer.
Big finish coming in San Diego. Boise State and San Diego State tied at 28. Tim Vizzy with his first career punt return for a touchdown. Taking it back 41 yards to even up the ball game. A huge game in the Mountain West. Wes Fear to kick it away. Douglas is back deep. Earlier tonight, he took one back 100 yards, and Fear kicks it out of bounds. Penalty flag. And just after praising their special teams unit, a huge mistake by Fear.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team. Boise State is elected to take the ball at the 35-yard line. 1st down.
That can't happen.
No, Andrew, and we talked about Boise State wanting to firmly establish itself as one of the better teams. They've certainly done that, but when you look at the Mountain West Division standings, there's Utah State at the top. Boise State, with Utah State's win, needs to win this ball game so that they can ill afford to fall a game behind Utah State.
Boise State has the tie break, so they control their own destiny, but if they lose tonight, Utah State would control its own destiny next week, a win, and they would go on to the Mountain West Championship game. Utah State plays Wyoming next week, but a good start here to this drive as Matt Miller picks up 9 yards.
San Diego State wants to consider itself on the upper echelon of the Mountain West Conference. If that's the case, then these are the type of games against these type of teams that they've got to find a way to win.
On 2nd and 1, Ajayi has room up the middle and into San Diego State territory.
Probably one of the longest runs in between the tackles tonight for Boise State. This is what you want to do. They found very little room to run tonight, but linebackers running through, getting pushed out of the hole, leads to a very big pickup and a first down from the Broncos.
With that run, Ajayi goes over 100 yards on the night. 3:20 to go. Boise State has all 3 timeouts. Ajayi again up to the 45.
If you're Boise State, you're not in a panic. You've got a very good kicker in Dan Goodale, who last week hit a 47-yarder. Boise State much better situationally from the special team standpoint, so they're going to want to tick, 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 lead this clock and put themselves in position for a walk-off field goal if possible.
Goodale's made 12 straight field goals. The pass is complete to Williams Rhodes, tackled from behind by Pinkins. 2:40 to go. 7-yard pickup for Rhodes. That's his 5th catch of the night.
And remember, Shane Williams Rhodes, number 11, is the guy that puts the gas on their fire when they needed a spark. It was number 11. You see him here running off the field. But Boise State going to try to run the football. And remember, between the 40s is where they like to run specials as well.
3rd and 1, Hedrick keeps it himself. And he does not get a favorable spot. And I think they're marking him just short.
It looks to be, once again, San Diego State's defense showing up on 3rd down. They've been exceptional tonight, and this time they get the push to control the line of scrimmage, but you don't even think about this. This is without question 4-down territory if you're the Broncos.
Short. He's short of the line of the game. 4th down.
San Diego State's gone for it on 4th down 4 times tonight, converted 3 of those. This will be Boise's first attempt at doing the same, and it's going to be a big one here, Andrew.
Boise State 52% on the season going for it on 4th downs. They were 1 for 1 last week in their win over Wyoming. They put 3 receivers into the game. Ajayi behind Hedrick. Williams Rhodes in motion. They give it to Ajayi, and he is tackled, and I don't think he got it. Josh Gabbard came running back there, and it's a turnover on downs.
Edge pressure, beating the guys to the hole, setting the edge. Keep your eye on Nick Tinoff here. They're going to bring pullers on this side to be able to try and create a crease, but because Tinoff gets there literally at the same time, he's unblocked and comes up with the biggest 4th down stop of this season.
8th tackle for a loss tonight by the San Diego State defense. And now the Aztecs take over on the 40-yard line. 1:42 to go. San Diego State has all 3 timeouts. Kaler to throw on 1st down. Over the middle. Caught at midfield by Denso. Dylan Denso has his 4th catch of the night. Coming into the game, he had 14 catches the entire season.
Great job that time by Quinn Kaler going through his reads. He had one-on-one coverage on the number 1 receiver at the top. He was covered pretty well, so he came back and hit Denso right in the hole.
Back in the shotgun, Kaler. Draw to the fullback Young. Young leaps over a tackler. There's a flag on the play. Chad Young has the first down, but the flag is back at the line of scrimmage in the area of holding.
And that might be on the center, Jordan Smith, 73.
Holding. Offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Third penalty of the night on San Diego State, and it's a big one.
Yeah, he's really struggled blocking Ricky Chongachu tonight. And you see here, he's got him fitted up pretty well. But he grabs him right there as he tries to cross his face. And that play and that hold certainly affected the play and negated a pretty good run by Chad Young.
There's no penalty flag. We had movement at the line, and Kaler just throws it away.
Yeah, that was Terry Poole again, the right tackle. Sometimes when you're an offensive lineman, you got a speed rusher like DeMarcus Lawrence over you. You're not going to hold your water. You're going to move a little bit. Keep your eye on him. He's got one of the best pass rushers in the country over him, and he moved a little early, but he got away with it again. That's the second time tonight they haven't thrown a flag on that.
Now, usually we would be telling you where they need to get to try to kick a field goal. What's the range for their kicker? We don't know the answer to that because they haven't kicked a field goal since September, a successful field goal. They've missed 7 in a row. Fear and McMorrow. Rocket makes the catch, and he's tossed out of bounds at the 40. This is not a typical situation with San Diego State trying to get into field goal range. Wes Fear is the backup kicker. His career long is 45. But he lost his job after missing 3 in a row, and then Seamus McMorrow came into the fold. He missed 4 in a row. McMorrow sprained his ankle earlier tonight, so they had to go back to Fear. 3rd and 9.
You have every throw available to you because of the 3 timeouts you have.
Kaler's throw is incomplete. Maston nearly picked that one off. And now what do? Do you try to pin them deep and punt, or do you go for it on 4th and 9?
Well, you certainly you want to try and be able to win the ball game. You don't have a field goal kicker, but your defense has been playing pretty lights out. I think you punt it.
And send Alisi out there, and they will punt. Keep in mind, San Diego State has already played 3 overtime games this year. They're the only team in the country that has played 3 overtime games. A 4th overtime game would tie an NCAA record for the most in one season, and Alisi's punt goes into the end zone. Boise State trying to move a step closer to the inaugural Mountain West Championship game. Fresno State has already locked up a spot on December 7th, the game you'll see on CBS at 10 Eastern. Boise State controls its own destiny, but they need to win tonight and then win again next week to try and hold off Utah State.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's interesting this week talking with Rocky Long. They played 3 overtime games so far this year. 2 of those they won. 1 of those they lost. They said the 2 that they won, they had the momentum going into overtime. He strongly feels that the team that has momentum going into overtime typically wins it. It's so hard to tell in this game who's got momentum at all because it keeps changing back and forth.
Weird game. Broncos have 3 timeouts. Ajayi open over the middle. Slips 1 tackle. Ajayi's got a first down and more. Ajayi still on his feet into San Diego State territory and tackled at the 32-yard line. Huge play for 47 yards.
Missed tackles in situations like this are killers. On a simple dump pass, Boise State is now in field goal territory.
They hustle to the line, and the pass is dropped by Holden Huff. They elected not to use a timeout. This was the big play, though, to Ajayi.
This is a simple check down. Everybody's covered, but a missed tackle there and a missed tackle there by Nat Berhe, one of the better players in this conference, 2-time All-Mountain West. Puts Boise State in pretty dang good field goal position as we take a look at Dan Goodale, who may be called upon to win this game.
Career-long 47-yarder last week, and Williams Rhodes is tackled for a loss, and that's a huge play. because before that play it would have been a 50-yard field goal.
Timeout.
And now it's a 54-yard field goal. And
Their
that
first of the
Furray
half.
making the tackle.
30 seconds
Williams
in
Rose
duration.
limps off the field.
You hit the nail on the head. A play after Nat Berhe, the senior captain on this team, missed a tackle. He makes up for it in a big way by reading again the bubble screen, playing it aggressively, and potentially kicking Boise State out of field goal position. He is such a sure tackler. And in these big moments, Andrew, we've been saying it all night, your playmakers have to step up and make plays, and number 20 did, and it was a huge one on that last one.
The one thing you can't do in this area of the field is go backwards, and that's a killer. Goodale's career-long 47 yards. Right now, it would be a 54-yard attempt.
You have to try and get first downs, but you can't take negative or lost yardage plays. Boise State knows that, but that's been very indicative of what their offense has done. Here's a third down. You better believe here comes San Diego State with pressure. It's worked for them all night long.
Hedrick out of the shotgun. Fires, caught by Miller, and he's down to the 25-yard line. Now, Chris Peterson does not use a timeout. It's not a first down. Peterson's going to call timeout and play for one. Timeout with 3 seconds to go.
Boise State takes a second timeout of the half. 30 seconds in duration.
Matt Miller, the sure-handed receiver, just running a simple hitch route. Sits in the hole in the zone defense. San Diego State brought pressure, but good protection up front by the offensive line. As good as Dan Goodale is, with San Diego State having 3 timeouts, you better believe they may try and ice him here and make him think about what could be the biggest kick of this season.
Goodale's first field goal of the season was blocked. Since then, he's made 12 in a row. Earned a scholarship over the summer after winning a kicking battle during summer camp. Now called upon to try to kick the game-winning field goal from 43 yards away. No timeout from San Diego State, and the kick is wide left. No good, and we're going to overtime. This will be the 4th overtime game of the year for San Diego State. That ties an NCAA record. And Goodale's streak of 12 consecutive field goals is broken. Wide left. And we've got bonus football coming in San Diego. Going to overtime in a huge game in the Mountain West. Boise State trying to remain in control of their own destiny. But Dan Goodale not able to convert from 43 yards away. And we're going to overtime. Let's take another look at the hold by Matt Miller.
You see the laces being faced in. That certainly can affect the trajectory of a football and affect the way a kicker is used to kicking, because Dan Goodale sees those laces there, and maybe Finkel is Einhorn.
Wow.
Yeah,
Aaron Taylor going Ace Ventura at the start of overtime. Let's go down to referee Mike DeFee.
Okay, gentlemen, overtime. We're going to toss the coin. Your option is offense, defense, or which end of the field you want to play on, okay? Boise State, you're the visitors. Tails, heads, heads, tails. What's your call?
Heads.
Heads. Heads is his call. It's tails. You've won the toss. You want defense. Which end of the field? Okay. San Diego State has won the toss and elected defense. Boise State will be 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line, this end of the field.
Well, 3 overtime games this year for San Diego State. October 4th against Nevada. Eric Judge with a 13-yard touchdown reception. And then the San Diego State defense stopped Nevada to win 51-44. Then October 26th, McMorrow for the win. Kick blocked. And then in OT, Fresno State was able to take it in, and San Diego State went 4 and out. Fresno State remained undefeated with a 35-28 win. And then last week at Hawaii, Adam Uema, 2-yard touchdown run. Hawaii went 4 and out. 3 overtime games. Aztecs are 2-1 in those games. And something you have to keep in mind with San Diego State is that they don't kick field goals. So even if they hold Boise State, what are they going to do? Fascinating drama here as we get set to start overtime.
And Rocky Long again telling us this week that he felt the 2 games that they won, it was because they had the momentum going into overtime.
Ajayi is tripped up. King Holder makes the stop. 4-yard gain though from Ajayi. All-time overtime records, Boise State 5-3, but they haven't won in overtime in 6 years. 2nd down and 6.
You got to go what's worked for you all night long. For San Diego State, that's bringing pressure, which means they have to win their matchups on the perimeter when they throw it.
Hedrick to Moore, and it's complete for a 1st down. Kirby Moore playing in his first game since September, the younger brother of Kellen Moore, and his pickup of 7 moves the sticks. From the 14-yard line, Ajayi going left again, and a nice tackle by Eric Pinkins, the senior out of Sacramento.
That's the 2nd or 3rd time that Boise's tried to get to the perimeter, particularly down in the red zone. And when you look at Boise State, they're extremely proficient down there, scoring touchdowns almost 70% of the time. That's kind of the gold standard when you're down there. But San Diego State has been abysmal, dead last in the country. They need a big play here in this area. Again, they want to get to the next level. And here comes a blitz from the backside.
He's hit, and the pass is deflected and incomplete. Hedrick took a big hit from Eric Pinkins.
Hedrick slow to get up. But again, Rocky Long, especially in the red zone, they will like to bring pressure. And Geraldo Boldevine, that's that 50-50 ball, Andrew, that we're talking about several times tonight. Boise's been unable to come up with the big catches.
Boise State is 2 for 14 on 3rd downs. And they have movement.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's on Spencer Gerke, the senior out of Boise, Bishop Kelly High School.
That's a critical penalty. You got to credit some of the fans that are here creating some crowd noise, because remember, field goals in overtime certainly aren't the way to get it done.
3rd and 14. Hedrick has time, fires to Miller, and it's broken up. Miller tried to make a sliding catch at the 1, but J.J. Whitaker and Nat Burhay were on the spot for the Aztecs, and that'll bring out the kicker, Goodale.
Just man-free coverage, and good coverage at that. Nat Burhay coming over, being able to break that ball up, and this forces the field goal. That penalty on the play before that was huge and critical, and forces the 35-yard field goal attempt by Dan Goodale, who missed one at the end of the 4th quarter.
This is a 35-yarder, and the kick is good. So Boise State is on the board in overtime. They put up 3 to take a 31-28 lead, and they'll put it on their defense now as San Diego State will have it at the 25. Wild and wacky 4th quarter, Aaron Taylor.
There's no question. You saw Matt Miller go up and take control of that ball, and then Tim Busy with the big punt return for the touchdown. Some great blocks on this. Boise State getting out of their lane integrity resulted in the kick, and then here you go. Dan Goodale with the walk-off field goal attempt, misses it, pushes it to the left with the holder, Matt Miller, having the laces on the inside. And he can't be happy with himself that his team's in this position. And you want to talk about San Diego State trying to get to the upper echelon of the Mountain West Conference. Well, here's your chance, Aztecs.
They pitch it to Muema on 1st and 10. Nowhere to go. Darian Thompson, the safety, comes up to make the stop.
Boise State all night long has been stopping that run game between the tackles. They have had some success out on the perimeter. What's really worked for the Aztecs is that short controlled underneath pass game. Screens have worked down here in this area for San Diego State tonight. You have to go to your best stuff to be able to try and get yourself a touchdown here, because your field goal kicker isn't nearly as good as Boise's.
Muema again on the ground, gets across the 20 and tackled at the 19-yard line. And that'll bring up 3rd down and short. An 8-yard pickup for Muema. And there's an injured Bronco down on the field. That's Armand Nance, the sophomore out of Houston.
And that can be costly for him. Number 40, we haven't called his name a whole lot tonight, but he's been wreaking havoc in there. He's a big body, only listed at 288. He looks like he's about 308, big lower body. Been a good run stuffer. Can't really see what happened to him there.
Aaron, let me pose a hypothetical at you. If San Diego State doesn't pick up the 1st down and it's 4th and 4, what do?
Well, you got to do what you've done all season long, and I think that's go for it.
Which is wild to think of that.
If you don't have confidence in your kicker, you don't want somebody who's had some problems, and kickers sometimes are heady mental guys, and put them in a situation with this much on the game on the foot of your kicker. Put it in the hands of your offense, and Bob Toledo and this young man we're looking at here, number 18, Quinn Kaler.
Nance is still down on the field for Boise State. Came into school at 260 pounds, put on 30 pounds in the offseason. He's up to 290. He was actually recruited as a fullback and still learning the defensive position, but the ceiling is very high for Armand Nance, the sophomore. And now he's up on his feet and receives a nice hand. And we should point out there is a large contingent of Boise State fans in the house tonight.
That likely puts Tyler Horn in the game. Junior from Meridian, Idaho. 6'5", 265 pounds, not nearly as big as Armand Nance.
There's Wes Fear, the kicker, the backup kicker, the starter. Seamus McMorrow sprained his ankle in the 1st half.
Rocky Long looks quite a bit calmer than Wes Fear does, didn't he?
I'd say so. 3rd and 4 at the 19-yard line. Muema up the middle, slips a tackle, and he has the 1st down. Tackled at the 10-yard line. A 9-yard gain for Muema.
This is just a simple inside zone running play. It's Adam Muema's vision and feet lead him to the hole. He's going to go here and bust it back, and in the hole make Jeremy Ioane miss the tackle right there. Boom, plants his foot in the ground. Just tremendous in between the tackle zone football, getting north and south. That's what good running backs do, Andrew. Here is a big set of downs for the Aztecs.
1st and goal. San Diego State wins the game with a touchdown, and Pumphrey is locked up. Now keep in mind, Utah State, there is a large contingent of fans in Logan keeping a close eye on this one right now. If Boise State loses, Utah State can win the division with a win next week.
They're not out of it, but they don't want to put their destiny in somebody else's hands. We've seen both of these teams step up in big moments to make plays, but in a heavyweight fight, it could come down to these next 3 downs. Somebody is going to emerge from this with a victory.
Play action to Muema. Kaler on the run, throws, end zone, caught, touchdown! Aztecs win it! On senior night, it's the senior captain, Colin Lockett. And San Diego State pulls one out in overtime.
The ruling on the field is touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
They will take a look just to make sure. but the official was right in front of Lockett. You see the official on the right side of your screen looking right at Lockett. Got possession.
Demonstrated possession all the way through, and this is just boot right play action, a play that they've ran all night long and been very successful, but none more successful than this last one. And how about Colin Lockett? Hot and cold all season long. Had a couple big busts earlier in this ball game, a huge turnover on a kickoff return, but when they needed a play, the senior from Diamond Bar, California, comes through huge for the Aztecs.
And they picked on Mercy Maston, the junior, all night long. He was on the coverage there for Boise State. The replay official is Bill Jaquez, and he's taking another look at this one, but it looks to be good by my perspective.
And not a good throw, an exceptional throw by Quinn Kaler. The location of this football on the run to his right was exceptional.
And a throw that completely changes the Mountain West Mountain Division. Here's the call. Game over. San Diego State with another wild comeback. And the Aztecs win 34-31. They started the season 0-3. Since then, San Diego State has won 7 of its last 8 games, and they've won back-to-back games in overtime. Dan Goodale had a chance to win the game at the end of regulation, could not come through wide left, and Boise State loses in overtime. Let's take a look at tonight's Cadillac player of the game, and how about the throw from Quinn Kaler? Give it to the San Diego State quarterback, who finishes 23 out of 37 for 288 yards. Let's go down to the field. Lauren Gardner is with Chad Young.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Chad, the cardiac kids, it doesn't matter what the situation, you guys seem to find a way. What makes this group so special?
Just a bunch of kids that never stop fighting. If you look at it, it's how every game's been this year. We've just never stopped fighting. That's the way we've been taught. That's the way we've been on the off season in the weight room with that man. We've just been taught to keep fighting. And I think that's what we did out here.
Senior night here, you win in overtime, the 4th overtime of the season. What do you have to say about this group?
I mean, I love all of them. I love all the underclassmen putting us out the right way. All the seniors, you know, I've been with them for 5 years now, and I know how hard everybody works. This is what we need to do, and it sure paid off tonight.
Thank you so much, Chad. You go celebrate. Have some fun.
Thank you.
Fitting that Chad Young did that interview with blood behind his ear. He's that type of player. As the Aztecs celebrate, they improved to 7-4 on the season. As we take a look at the updated standings in the Mountain West, and they are going nuts in Logan, Utah right now, because Utah State, with a win next week against Wyoming, will win the Mountain Division and advance to the Mountain West Championship game against Fresno State on December the 7th on CBS.
And that Wyoming team got beaten pretty handily by Boise State and barely beat a Hawaii team and gave up a ton of points to Hawaii today. So that is a very likely probability, and Utah State should be favored heading into that ball game.
Well, Aaron, this is the first time since 98-99 that Boise State has lost back-to-back games to a conference opponent in back-to-back seasons. San Diego State beat them last year. They do it again. The last time that happened, Boise was in the Big West, and they lost consecutive seasons to North Texas. It just doesn't happen against the Broncos. All the credit to the Aztecs. As we take a look at tonight's Napa play of the game, it's got to be the overtime touchdown. Kaler on the run to Colin Lockett.
Well, this is just a play-action boot right, and once again, it's the arm of Quinn Kaler with a perfectly located ball in the corner. The only place he could have thrown this that was away from the defender that gave Colin Lockett the ability to make the catch. and 18 puts it on the money for the win.
And fitting that a senior wins the game on senior night. Colin Lockett fumbled earlier on the kickoff. Redemption for Lockett in his final game at Qualcomm Stadium.
Andrew, you talk about this senior group, what this team wanted to accomplish. 4 straight bowl games, beating Boise State back-to-back. A lot of firsts for this team, but without question, San Diego State has established itself in the upper echelon of the Mountain West Conference with tonight's win.
And look at that, Lockett still has the football in his hand. That one's going up on his mantle. He's taking that one with him. Well deserved. Colin Lockett, his 4th touchdown of the season. What a game in San Diego. What an amazing night between Boise State and San Diego State, and the Aztecs prevail in overtime. Special teams nearly did them in, but in the end, the Aztecs celebrate their 7th win in the last 8 games. For Aaron Taylor, Lauren Gardner, our entire crew, I'm Andrew Catalan. For scores, highlights, features, and more, go to CBSSports.com. This has been a presentation of CBS